Live from Edward T. Berry Ice Rink on the campus of UMass Boston for some New England Hockey Conference action featuring the visiting Hobart College Statesmen taking on the UMass Boston Beacons. Good afternoon, everybody. Andrew Bluestein alongside my broadcast partner, Matt Meisenbacher. We thank you for joining us on the Beacons Broadcast Network powered by LittleEast.tv. Well, Mizey, not the start for the season the Beacons wanted, and it doesn't get any easier here this afternoon, going up against a 7-0 Hobart team that just has dominated in just about every statistical category.
Yeah, we talked about it last night for those of us that were on the broadcast, and they played an Elmira team that was right there with them in the conference. Unfortunately for them, they couldn't convert, weren't able to generate much offense. Elmira buried the chances that they had. That they did generate and ended up leaving here with a 4-1 win. Now enter Hobart, number one team in the nation. Just watching them in warm-ups and keeping an eye on them throughout the season, they are the real deal. They are loaded front to back. Goaltending looks strong. This is going to be a true test for UMass. The thing they have going for them, it's a quick turnaround, and they're at home. So you've got a Hobart team that played last night. There could be some endurance issues a little early in the season, maybe some injuries, you never quite know. But this is a UMass team that's going to have to keep it close. It's going to have to be a very strong defensive structure if they're going to want to have a chance here today.
You mentioned both teams playing last night. The Beacons fell to Elmira 4-1, and Hobart won 5-0 against Johnson and Wales. As we look at some season statistics for this afternoon's matchup, as you just see, well, we have the Elmira stat from last night up there on the screen right now.
It's probably similar, maybe even a little bit stronger. But yeah, I mean, you take a look at the statistics. I mean, we can jump and take a look at some of these players on Hobart. And you and I were talking about it. They're well scouted. I mean, they're pulling players from everywhere, not just North America, but internationally as well. And we'll get to our player matchup with Aquaro and Manzo on the UMass side. But for me, taking a look at some of the size of these defensemen, well over 6 foot, putting up points, and I think for me, that's going to be the question today. If UMass can get to these D and maybe even grab an early lead, that could do wonders for the confidence of this team.
Well, we're having some technical difficulties with the graphics on the season stats, but just to go over some numbers that I have written down here, just 9 goals allowed on the season in 7 games. For this Hobart team. You mentioned goals are going to be at a premium here tonight. So what do the Beacons have to do to kind of generate some scoring opportunities up against the tough defensive team?
I think 2 things that highlight for me. So far in the season, they've been very passive in the offensive zone. Their forecheck seems to be wait and let it come to us, and it's not working. They're not creating any turnovers. They're not winning any puck battles. I think for me, I'd like to see them go with much more of an aggressive approach here today. And I think also that they're not getting to the dirty areas. Everything seems to be on the perimeter. They're having a tough time connecting on passes, and if you can connect on passes, sometimes you can live that way around the perimeter, especially if you have guys that can really shoot the puck. But I don't see this on this team. I think this is a team that has to get to the front of the net, get those greasy goals that you talk about, the ones that don't show up on the highlight reel, but they go on the scoreboard all the same.
Well, why don't we take a look at tonight's matchup to watch as you look at the screen here. First for the Hobart Statesman, Luke Aquaro coming in with 6 goals, 3 assists with 9 points. A +7, and for the Beacons, Mike Manzo, a goal, 5 assists for 6 points, and a +2. So those are the 2 guys we'll be watching here tonight. As we'll step aside for a quick break, and we'll be right back here on the Beacons Broadcast Network.
Passion's love. Passion is love for what you do. Because I think when you face challenges, it comes down to how much you want it and how much you love it. Passion is what keeps you going forward. Seeing so many people that were like-minded and so hardworking in their sport and academics, being surrounded by like-minded people makes you want to be more passionate. I think it pushes you to a different level that maybe you didn't think you had. And you can do the best of both worlds and love all of it.
Proportion to me is the lived experience of our Division III student athletes. They balance life from an academic perspective and the rigors of competing at a high level, bonding with teammates and building lifelong friendships. But they also are involved in their communities. They work jobs and internships and volunteer. They've learned to be resilient. Diverse experiences are setting them up for the future.
Passion's love.
And welcome back here on the Beacons Broadcast Network from Edward T. Berry Ice Rink. Andrew Bluestein, Matt Meisenbacher here with you. Both teams just about ready to take the ice. But let's take a sneak peek at the Beacons weekend games here. We have women's basketball at Hunter Invitational versus to be determined, and the time to be determined as well. Women's ice hockey at William Smith here this afternoon at 4 p.m. As we also look around the New England Hockey Conference here today on this Saturday, as Babson is at Castleton, that getting underway at 4 p.m. as well. All 4 p.m. games across the board. Southern Maine at Skidmore, Elmira at Johnson and Wales, and that's what we have coming up this afternoon around the New England Hockey Conference. As let's take a look at our head coaching breakdown here, as Peter Belisle, head coach for the Beacons in his 17th season. 224 wins, 157 losses, 29 ties for the Beacons. As for Hobart, their head coach, Mark Taylor, he comes in his 14th season, 11 NCAA tournament appearances. That is impressive, as the Beacons will have their hands full tonight, we mentioned. And now let's take a peek at today's keys of the game. The keys of the game, we want to limit defensive zone turnovers, 2, control pace on the ice, 3, underdog mentality. We talked about it, Mizey. This team is very tough out against this for the Beacons going up against the Statesman's team. Have been dominant all season.
Yeah, confidence is going to be something that we're going to need to see from this UMass team, and we saw it a little bit yesterday, but it wasn't sustainable. I think this is a Hobart team that is very confident, clearly based on their record and the talent you see on paper, and it's going to take a lot to break them down. I think that UMass team is going to do everything in their power to try and match that confidence here today.
Well, both teams heading to the blue line for the starting lineup. We'll have the national anthem, and we'll be right back after that here on the Beacons Broadcast Network.
Proportion to me is the lived experience of our Division III student athletes. They balance life from an academic perspective and the rigors of competing at a high level, bonding with teammates and building lifelong friendships. But they also are involved in their communities. They work jobs and internships and volunteer. They've learned to be resilient. Diverse experiences are setting them up for the future.
The 5-campus UMass system is the university that educates the workforce of Massachusetts. We recognize that we are truly here for a reason, and that recognition inspires us and drives us every single day.
Responsibility is being accountable for your words and actions, first and foremost. It also is an obligation to be a positive influence in the communities around you. Being in a D3 program, you're going to have lots of different opportunities. You're not just an athlete, you're also involved in student life. Your academics are extremely important. We give a lot of our student athletes responsibilities right from the start by giving them leadership opportunities, by having them engage in the community, be a positive influence. That's being a responsible person.
I believe sportsmanship is a mutual admiration and respect for your fellow competitors. We all go through a lot to reach the point where we compete against one another. It's important to realize that. So once we're finally on the field or on the court or on the starting block, we look at each other as fellow human beings and not just competitors. Being able to recognize the hard work that other athletes are putting in creates a more positive and inclusive environment.
Comprehensive learning is being able to adapt to experiences and apply the things that I learned. Being an athlete and juggling academics helped me grow as a person, and things that I've learned, I was able to apply it in another field, putting them into everyday life. Developing comprehensive learning helped me prioritize certain things to make sure I get to where I want to be.
Paris changed my life, and I got there through UMass.
Let's go over tonight's starting goaltenders. First for the Hobart College Statesman, it's going to be Damon Bieber, 3-0 on the season with a 1 even goals against average, a .62 save percentage, 1 shutout. He is out of Whitby, Ontario. Numbers don't get much better than that. For the UMass Boston Beacons, it'll be Liam Murray making his first start of the season, has only played 1 period up to this point. As we recite his numbers, no decisions, 3 even goals against average, and a .667 save percentage. And the Beacons tonight wearing, what would you call that, Mizey? Purple for their hockey fights,
boy.
cancer.
What shade of purple that is? I would call that, oh man, this is bad. I'm on the spot here. I'm gonna give me a chance. I'm gonna come up with a better. It's more than purple. It's lavender. Gina, lavender? Yeah, lavender.
Something like that.
Camera operator Gina approves. Lavender. We're going with lavender.
We're underway. Face-off won there by Mike Manzo as the first line starts out for the Beacons. Coleman sends it ahead. That gets deflected in. Back to get it is Austin Moore. That's chipped up the boards. Rowland sends it back in. Back to get it is Cooper Swift. He plays it across the ice through the neutral zone. Good read there by Keegan. He'll send it in. And it gets shut down at the blue line. Back the other way. Quick shot on net there. And it's smothered and gloved for a whistle by Murray right off the bat.
That's big for Murray. And I'll tell you what, he's got jitters. There's no doubt about it. Anybody that's not a constant starter, when they do get the call, is going to have some nervous energy. And a shot like that from distance, glove side, is able to just catch it and get a face-off. That does wonders to ease the nerves.
Guggens tries to win that draw, can't. Hobart controls, shot gets blocked by Keegan, now back the other way. As the Beacons look to break out, they can't. Pass was disrupted, goes into the far corner. Coleman with it. Hanks it off the kick blade, goes D to Bogan. Bogan plays it up the far side half wall, but it comes back in possession to Hobart. And now Guggens picks it up. Guggens, the lone goal scorer last night for the Beacons. That shot goes on net, saved by Beaver. Puck goes to the far side, sent back up by Wooth. As back to collect is Ryan Bogan. He goes D to Coleman. Coleman looking up ice, tries to hit Walker through the middle. It doesn't connect, and this will be an icing.
Something to watch here for UMass today. The passing just was not on target last night. They couldn't put more than 2 or maybe 3 together, and it really limited what they were able to do on the rush. And so here today, you saw an icing right there. That's going to be a focus for me. Can this team put passes together and enter the zone with speed?
So Andy Walker on the draw. That's won by Aquaro. Down low, Alexander tries to get it out to the point to Malik Ewan, as doesn't stay in. Now the Beacons. Duncan tries to headman it the other way, gets disrupted by Alexander. Alexander now with speed on the far wing. Chips it down low, nice play, they score! Luke Aquaro finishes that off, and the Statesmen strike first here early, and it's 1-0.
Well, it's a turnover at the blue line, and all 3 forwards get caught. And it's a rush down. The D were also changing, so they don't have the angles that they normally would, and that rush was just on top of them so quick. It's almost a 2-on-1 by the end of it. And you mentioned Aquaro, our player to watch. He's well over a point per game so far in his career, and he buries it for a 1-0 lead.
So Aquaro grabs his 7th goal of the season as the Beacons look to regroup here. Back the other way, Benkauskas enters the zone, but once again gets disrupted. Malik Ewan dumps it in, and that will be an icing. Smart play there by Murray not to play the puck.
And tough on him, right? Because there's really not a lot you can do. A cross-ice pass right off the top of your crease, it's just difficult for any goaltender to get across in time to make that stop. And I'm sure he'd love them to give him credit for that second shot on goal, so it doesn't look like to the crowd he's 0 for 1 on shots versus saves.
Manzo and Bell up on the drum. Manzo wins it. Browning out at the point, dumps it in behind the net. Clifton tries to center it, looking for Manzo. Tried to find Clifton on the back door and couldn't handle it. Rather, that was Grady Friedman. Now back the other way, Tristan Fassick. Chips it up for Hartman. That one thrown towards the goal. Clifton with it. Gets it to Friedman. He'll softly play it through the neutral zone into the Hobart end. Now with speed is Iasenza. Throws one towards goal. Murray hugging the post though and able to corral it for a whistle.
We'll take a look at the replay on the goal here, and you're just going to see the D a little bit caught there, right? 3-on-2, and then just a cross-ice pass there, and that's really that forward. That's their player. I'm not quite sure who it was, but you got to get to that, and it's tough, right? Because you're coming in with speed. They've got a couple strides on you. It's not that simple, but nevertheless, a lot of broken plays there that led to the goal.
That one dumped in as Hobart looks to take control. Centering pass, nobody home though, as Carabelli plays it to Guggens. Guggens chips it, plays it behind his own net, D to D. And a broken stick out there for Krapinski. That shot thrown towards the net, blocked wide in the near side corner. Being battled for. Uzavera in there, comes out to Guggens. Guggens tries to avoid his man behind the net, chips it to an area. Carabelli gets there first. Banks it off the glass, and that's out. As nice play there the other way, as coming out of his net was Beaver.
It's Concannon there on the rush.
As Concannon put a nice move there on the defenseman, cut to the middle, but the Hobart goaltender aggressive with his stick as another icing here with 16:21 to go in the first period.
Yeah, just out of the reach of Concannon. He made the right play. It was a little chip and just tried to use his speed to get to that puck, and he would have had a breakaway. Just continued to inch away from him every time it looked like he might be able to corral it. It kept moving, and you're right, Beaver was able to get a stick on it. You wonder if he doesn't make that play, if that ends up, Concannon does hunt that puck down and get a shot on goal.
Lee Walker and Fontana on the draw. Fontana wins it. Tripped around to the far side. Fontana jumps on it. Stays with it, waits for reinforcements. That one thrown to the net, sticked aside by Murray and into the netting out of play. So the face-off, Meisey, will be to the left of Murray.
No, I was going to say the face-offs become ever important, and you anyone who's listening to the broadcast will hear me talk about it, but you've kind of settled in. I somewhat like the response by UMass here. It was a quick goal, and they look like they're right back into this hockey game. Last night it seemed like they would get down a little bit after they gave one up, and not the case here.
Eakins look to break out the other way. Duncan dumps it in on Beaver. He sticks it aside. Swift plays it behind the net to Wuth. Comes out to the point though. Sent around behind the net. Wuth picks it up, tries to chip it ahead. And it's being battled for there in the corner. Hobart comes out with it. Daniels chips it ahead, goes cross ice to Crane. Crane fires one, that goes just wide over the glove side of Murray. Wuth tries to play it back in. Battle for here on the half wall. Puck comes out to the point to Swift. His shot goes wide on the stick side. Duncan tries to get it out, but can't. That shot from the point gets deflected up and out of play by Matthew Wuth, so the faceoff will be in the Beacons' defensive end.
And I think it's been a little choppy here to start this hockey game. I think if you're UMass, you'll take that. I think this Hobart team runs on momentum, and they've done a good job of kind of dissipating any momentum that Hobart has generated off that first goal.
Chance back the other way. Bankowskis with speed. Rides his man to the end boards. He can stay with it. Puck comes out to Coleman. He fires one in on Beaver, and he gets his stick on it into the netting out of play for another whistle.
And I think that's something I want to see more from UMass, using the D, shots from the point, but the second piece is the more important piece, is taking the eyes away of Beaver, getting people in that slot area, creating traffic. A goaltender like this, with the statistics he has, anything from that distance is going to stop. But if you can get some sticks on it, take his eyes away, maybe get a deflection, it's nothing any goaltender can do.
Beacons don't win the draw, but try to maintain possession. Chance on the back door. And Bankowskis just couldn't get it. Another chance, loose in front. Still loose. No one can find it, and finally it gets cleared behind the net. A nice collision there. But a couple of good opportunities on the doorstep for the Beacons as the puck goes back the other way. Bogan now with it. Plays it through the middle to Manzo. Manzo, a lone man as his teammates will head off for a change. Clifton on the forecheck. Gets left off for Patterson. That one's chipped in by Tanner Hartman. But Coleman jumps right on it. Back the other way, looking to transition are the Beacons. Nice move there by Clifton, or rather Friedman. Now the exit pass to the near side. Beloff chips it ahead. A little too far ahead. No icing though. That pass hits a skate. Manzo goes to retrieve it on the far side, gets it to Clifton. Tries to play it ahead to Friedman in the neutral zone. Clifton, though, able to recollect the loose puck. Krapinski with it. Goes back to Roland. Roland moves it up. Now through the middle to Guggens. He dumps it in. That goes over the stick of Bolger. The exit pass fails. And fresh off the bench, Carabelli couldn't handle that pass, or the puck rather, it explodes off his stick, and this one sent back down for an icing with 13:08 to go.
Pretty good rush there earlier from UMass. They had Beaver scrambling. He did well, was able to stay in that blue paint, maintained his balance, and maybe made a couple saves there in front of him. But that was the best chance I've seen from UMass in quite some time, including last night, and just couldn't find the last-ditch effort to bring it home.
Fassig and Guggens on the faceoff. Fassig wins it, but the linesman rules a false start off that draw.
And you want to build off that, right? You had all three forwards in front there, all banging away at the puck. You didn't get it that time, but you came really close. And I think if I'm on the bench, I'm letting the guys know we need more of that.
Keegan throws it towards Carabelli. Tried to whack the rebound that never got through. And Beaver makes a nice save. Puck on the far side half wall. Nice play at the point there to keep it in. As now it's battled for on the near side. That one chipped back the other way. Comes right to Keegan. He rifles one in on Beaver, who blockers it to the corner. Carabelli had that one sent back the other way. It takes a funky bounce off the stanchion, so no icing as it goes right in on Liam Murray. Coleman goes D to Keegan. Coleman back to Keegan as he exits the zone. Keegan tries to dump it in, and that dump in gets disrupted, and it goes up off the ceiling for a whistle.
Well, one of the players we highlighted earlier that it's worth noting moved up to the first line center tonight. Mike Manzo really liked his game last night, freshman out of Michigan, and was rewarded for his upstart play. He's going to, as I mentioned, center of the first line today with Clifton and Friedman. They're going to need them going today.
DeLuzio chips it up. Banks gets a piece of that as Bogan chases, but goes out of the reach on the far side. Back the other way. Iasenza leaves it off for Tyson. He gets hit hard there by Coleman. Now Coleman, another heavy hit there on Iasenza. Getting physical out there on this shift as Hobart centering pass, nobody there. As jumping on the loose puck is Duncan. Duncan got to the red line, loses the puck though. Deacon's fortunate to get it back. Krapinski now leaves it off for Bowling. Bowling chips it ahead. Goes right to Austin Moore though. He goes D to Cooper Swift. Swift chips it ahead to Fontana. He'll dump it in. That one's played ahead by Krapinski. Back to center. Patterson Dumps it in, hits the boards. Back the other way, Benkowskis. And now McCoy has it. McCoy looking at foot, throws it towards the net, went wide. Another chance from the point by Krapinski. That shot also goes wide as that one chipped off the glass and out. Nice play there at the blue line. Now Patterson, the late man, a shot, and a nice glove save there by Liam Murray, and he'll hold it for a whistle with 10:46 to go in the first.
Yeah, that's a good stop there. And anytime a defenseman's coming in like that, they curl around, it's tough for the goaltender to trust their angle, right? Because it's changing before your eyes. But Liam, being 6'5", doesn't have to move very much. And in fact, I don't know if he moved at all. And he was able to track that right into the glove, made a nice stop, no rebound. That's a fine save.
So face off to the right of Murray. Manzo and Aquaro on the draw. Aquaro, the goal scorer for the Statesman. He wins it. That chance right off the draw. Alexander's shot may have got deflected wide over the net. Now battle on the far side. Coleman tries to come out with it. That one gets thrown towards the goal, and it was paddled away by Murray. That puck goes high off of one of the ceiling beams, so another whistle, and the face-off will stay in the Beacon zone. This time Alexander will take the face-off against Manzo. Manzo able to win it. That one's sent around. Clifton chips it for Manzo. Tries to play it in the middle, but Aquaro is right there. Now Alexander gets it to Patterson, who chips it in. Heavy hit there by Manzo in the corner. Clifton, or rather Friedman, tried to chip it ahead. Kept in by Patterson. Now Alexander with it. Takes it towards the middle. Leaves it off for Patterson. Patterson shoots, and a nice glove save by Murray, flashing the leather.
Well, they might want to try him on the blocker side for a few here. It seems like he's got his glove working tonight. That's got to be 3, maybe 4 glove saves so far. Murray not sensing any nerves being in net, and he is a grad senior. He's seen a lot of rubber over the years, and getting a chance here tonight, he looks more than confident.
Pasek able to win that draw, but he wins it too cleanly. It splits his defenseman, goes back to center. Dumped in, Keegan behind his own net. Plays it for Bowling. Nice move there by Carabelli. Tried to hit Guggens, but that one gets disrupted by Hartman.
Beacon's really got to start limiting these neutral zone turnovers here. That's a 3 in a row now. They've had a chance to get the puck deep and failed to do so.
Nice shot from the point, gets deflected wide. As
there's another one. Right down back on top of you.
Back the other way comes Pasek. Pasek waits. Tried to hit Malakian at the point. Now here's Keegan, the defenseman. Throws one in on Beaver. He blockers it to the corner. And both teams making a change here as this puck gets flipped to the neutral zone. Krapinski with it. Goes D to D. Rolling. Headmans it and sends it in around the kick blade. Banks there to collect. Gets bodied. And picking up the puck there is Buzavera. That one gets chipped out. Banks right back on it. Sends it in around. Beaver out to play it. Leaves it off for Malakian. This one sent the length of the rink, and it will be an icing, so an offensive zone face-off here for the Beacons.
See who Coach Blyle puts out here. He's going with the 4th line. Coy, Adkins, and Bankowskis will take this draw. I haven't had much offense here for the last 3-4 minutes, so it's an important draw here. I'd expect them to keep things simple, maybe win this back to the D, try to get a shot.
Coy and Buzavera on the face-off. Buzavera wins it. Folger plays it up the far side. Tyson, a little bit of trouble with it. Nice play by McCoy. Caught the pass on his skate, tried to throw it towards goal, but it was blocked. As now Hobart regroups. That one's chipped in by Tyson. Murray out to play it. Rifles that off the glass, but it goes right back to Tyson. But DeLuzio able to send it back to center. That one deflects in on Murray. Leaves it off for Nick DeLuzio. Now Coleman with it. Tried to thread the needle to Bankowskis through the middle, but pass was behind him. Coleman regroups, gets it back, waits. Hits Bankowskis. He'll chip it in and go off for a change as Cooper Swift back to collect. Swift looking to head man out of his own end. Tried to cut it through the middle. As Friedman now with it, he'll send it in. Friedman chasing. Finishes his check there. Now back the other way though. Swift tried to spring Daniels, but too far ahead of him, and this will be an icing.
Another opportunity here.
Take a look at the replay on this save by Murray with the glove.
Full extension. Good stop.
And you mentioned earlier, Mizey, as a goalie who hasn't seen a lot of time this year, you kind of want to see a lot of rubber early to get that confidence going. And certainly that's been the case for Murray here this afternoon.
Yeah, it's the truth, and I think he's rebounded well after giving up that goal. And again, there's not a lot you can do on that 2-on-1, so I doubt it rattled him too hard. But even still, giving up an early one, you got to have a mental strength to come back from that, and we've seen that so far.
Now a chance for Daniels. Rifles that one just wide on the glove side. Murray in good positioning, and I believe that one went into the Beacons bench, so the faceoff will come back in their defensive zone with 7:10 to go left.
That's an unfortunate break.
Yeah, because they had numbers that looked like going up the ice.
They sure did. Yeah, at least three, and maybe a fourth was coming too. That's a bad break there for the Beacons.
So it'll be Guggens and Aquaro on the faceoff. Guggens able to win it. Krapinski tried to play it around. Garabelli able to get there. It's sent back to Bowling and sent back to center. Back to get it. Patterson banks it off the boards. Aquaros chips it in behind the net. In a race there, Guggens got there first, but I don't believe he got the puck. And it doesn't matter. It was sent back all the way down the ice. Rolling puck. No icing. Patterson picks it up. Nice hit there by Carabelli, and they're going to get him for a penalty.
I don't like this call at all. I don't like this call at all. I mean, he had just gotten rid of the puck. I don't understand how that's interference.
And I would agree, Mizey. They usually say a couple seconds, but it seemed like he had just gotten rid of the puck there.
One stride, 1 second, maybe two. That's a tough call. That's a real tough call, in my opinion. I think that's a ref that didn't like the result of the hit and called an interference penalty. From my understanding of the rules, that's not interference. That's a tough call on Carabelli. I think that's a good hit.
I mean, if you want to call anything there, I guess it would be boarding, but even at that point, I don't think there's much there to call. So
that's the one thing that you can't do as a referee, and I'm not saying that was the case here. He might have seen it differently than we did, but you can't be reactive to the result of the play. And to me, that seemed a little bit like the hit and the result of it was what the penalty was, even though by the rule book, might have been clean.
Well, not the team you want on the power play. 9 power play goals this year already for this Hobart squad. As they give it away, though, so 2 quick clears here for the Beacons, and they'll get a quick change on defense. As Beaver leaves it off for Swift. Swift. That one's sent into the corner. Now being battled on the near side. Chipped down low. Alexander with it. Gets it to Shane Shell. Now out at the point. Alexander on the far side. Shot on goal and a nice save by Murray. Saw it all the way. No rebound on the shot from the point by Austin Moore.
Well, this Hobart team is talented. They're going to move the puck high to low, left to right, and the Beacons do a good job of holding the ground, staying in a little bit of a zone coverage, right? You're going to see that here today. You saw it last night. They're going to stay in their box, maybe sometimes rotate to a diamond, but stay within their zones. And you can see, just allow Hobart to move that puck as much as they want, but make sure your goaltender can see it.
Buzavera and Walker on the faceoff. Buzavera able to win it. Now a one-timer chance there as it goes off of a skate and wide. Hobart stays with it, though. Down low. Tyson off the half wall. Shoots. And that one goes through the crease wide out the other side. Looked like he didn't get enough mustard that he wanted on it as Hobart stays with it. Patterson curls back. Sends it to Iasenza. Now out of the top to Wuth. Wuth gets disrupted there by Bogan. Duncan, and it cuts out to center with 27 seconds left on the Hobart power play. That one chipped towards goal. Now on the near side. Hobart looking to reset shop here. 15 seconds to go on the power play. Now behind the net, Iasenza. Backdoor shot. Nice save by Murray. Got it with the blocker, and it goes up and out of play with just 8 seconds left on the power play.
That's an incredible save. And that's one where the goaltender knows he's going to be behind the pass, and he's got to get over there in a hurry. He was able to take the low part away and then get that blocker up high. And not only that, but get it into the key for me there, getting that into the netting, because he gets a full change here. That unit was getting really tired. They've been out for the majority of that kill. And that's a big save, and the result of that change should be, especially if they can win this draw, should be able to clear this penalty.
Bassig wins the draw from Bankowskis. Now McEwen throws one on goal. Pad save by Murray. Another chance, another glove save by Murray. Puck still loose. That'll do it for the Hobart power play. And that clearing attempt by Carabelli goes into the Beacons bench, but they kill it off and can get a full change here with 4:30 to go in the first period.
I think he made 2 more key stops there. And that was another scramble there. They lost that draw clean. And from my vantage point, I think Murray came away with 2 additional saves there. So that's 3, maybe 4 on that kill, keeping this a 1-0 game.
And the second one looked to be through traffic. A lot of bodies in front as Friedman takes it through the neutral zone, gets hit hard there by Ignat Belov. Puck goes to the far side. Bassig picks it up. Tries to get it through the neutral zone. Can't. Tanner Hartman now with it. Goes back to his defenseman. Now McEwen. Now a chance. 2-on-1 opportunity. Backdoor Bassig fanned on the shot. Stays with it though. Fires one and another. Great save by Murray with no rebound. And now we got some action brewing in front of the crease, as the Beacons defending the Hive here, as it looks like we're going to get a penalty. The official pointing at somebody.
Well, let's see what the numbers are going to be. Coleman took a terrible angle, created a 2-on-1 on his D partner there. I'm surprised at that decision he made. Try and go for the hit, didn't really have it. But let's see what the numbers are going to be here. I would expect 5 aside.
Well, so far, Bassig and Friedman are in the box for their respective teams. But you gotta like the emotion there by the Beacons defending the front of their net.
Yeah, the physicality and the edge I would have to give to UMass in that regard. A lot of hits, and I would agree with you. They've done well protecting the front of their crease, their goaltender. But let's see what we're going to get. Yeah, 2 penalties, a quick replay there. You're going to see a good stop by Murray after and then the scrum afterwards.
It looked like it was Manzo originally who came in late on Buzavera. You see Buzavera was slow to get up. Or excuse me, that's Tanner Hartman. And looks like we're going to play 4-on-4 here. Coogan's able to win the draw. Krapinski sends that one in. Goes around the net. Big hit there in the corner. Krapinski, and now Krapinski throws one towards the goal, and it's shouldered away by Beaver.
That was one of the biggest hits I've seen all year. My goodness.
You could feel the building shake.
My goodness.
As Hobart looks to break out the other way. Nice move through the middle. Moore had some trouble with it as that one's sent back out. Puck comes back to Krapinski. Krapinski cycles it off the corner boards. Now Guggens with speed through the neutral zone. Physicality ramping up here in this first period, approaching the 3-minute mark. And a minute left of 4-on-4 here. As that one's sent back in, and the Beacons will change up.
Fortunate that wasn't icing.
Matthew Ruth. It's Tyson down the wing. Tyson around the net, tries the wraparound, decides to stay with the puck. Tyson gives it away to Bankowskis. Bankowskis through the center ice, but puck rolled off his stick. Cooper Swift with it, now takes it behind his own net. Leaves it off for Matthew Wuth. Wuth through center ice. Throws one in on Murray. Rebound as Coleman tried to play that up, but Hobart stays with it. Swift gets it out to the point to Alexander. Sent back the other way. Bankowskis is going to get tripped up.
Absolutely.
And we're going to have some 4-on-3 here for 12 seconds. So a golden opportunity with plenty of room to work with on the ice for the Beacons here.
I'm laughing because they're asking for a dive there. I think that was a pretty obvious trip. But you do what you can. You try to get calls. Aquara, I think, made the motion and he dove. But you're exactly right. Pretty rare. A 4-on-3 power play here for 12 seconds. And this draw, I'm curious who's going to take it. Because you got to watch the box as well. If you lose it, you really got to be cognizant of two things here. Obviously the offense on the power play, but also who's coming out of the box. And that's actually helpful because they'll get to reset here. They won't have to worry about the box anymore, and now they got the rest of the period on the power play.
So into the final 2 minutes here. Minute 49 of power play time for the Beacons to work with. Guggens sends that hard around the boards. Manzo leaves it for Coleman. Coleman throws it around the kick blade. Friedman tries to get there. Carabelli. Now Guggens with it. Guggens. Dangerous pass through the middle, and Iasenza with good hand-eye coordination able to knock it out of midair. Now Friedman back with it in his own end. Gives it to Coleman. Minute 20 to go on the power play. Coleman through center ice. Leaves it for Guggens. He goes cross ice to Friedman. Friedman tries to get around Patterson at the blue line as puck gets chipped out. Chance the other way. And nice play by Coleman and just off sides. Beacons got lucky there. Fontana made a nice play, but he was in the zone as the puck came back out.
And they're getting shut down at the blue line. Hobart's letting them come all the way through the ice, and then as soon as they hit the blue, they're attacking the puck carrier. So the Beacons did a nice job. They try to hinge play, so they come in down the left side, try to swing it back to the D or the center, and then come in through the right. That didn't work either. The only thing left is to get that puck deep, try to outman whichever side that puck is on.
Ryan Bogan tries to hit Keegan on the wing. Puck went too far ahead of him. Puck takes a funky bounce. Murray tries to play it ahead, goes off his defenseman Bogan, and a bad giveaway there is Hobart short-handed. Applying all the pressure there as now the Beacons look to regroup and head back up ice. 40 seconds to go in the period, 30 seconds on the power play. Bogan sends that one in around the boards. Nice job by Duncan to keep it in at the point. Keegan finishes his check, and the puck gets cleared back to center. Bogan now with it. As Keegan was coming late out of the zone, so Clifton had to wait. And 10 seconds now to go on the power play. 15 in the period. Chance for Aquaro. Aquaro shot. Keegan disrupted that as his stick goes flying, and final 10 seconds.
Not there.
Through the middle, another shot, they score.
God, what are we doing? Why would you go to the center there?
So Ryan Bogan with just 1.4 seconds left in the period. Bad giveaway through the middle. And Jonah Alexander able to finish it off, and it'll be 2-0 going into the second for Hobart.
Andrew, I'm shocked at that decision with not only not knowing how much time is left on the clock, but to try and force a center lane drive pass there and not just either eat it on the wall or chip it off the glass to the neutral zone. I mean, you can literally do anything other than try to force a pass to the center there. That's just a terrible decision, and it cost them. And now instead of 1-0, you got to go in, you're down 2. I mean, that's backbreaking for this Beacons team, who overall I thought played well in that period. We'll bring you the replay. But, I mean, that's just a total panic move to try and just get rid of that puck. And it ended up in the back of your net. A quick turnover in the slot. You can't really ask your goaltender to make that stop on such a quick turnover. But, my goodness, that one hurts.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, Mizey, as we see the replay. And it's not like they had any time for a rush back the other way.
I mean, you've got a center who's trying to catch that on his backhand, and you can see there is some traffic around. If we can, you'll see here. I mean, you can go off the glass. there's so little time.
Like you said, just eat it up against the
put
wall.
it right in your skates and just stand there. Let the clock run out. There's nothing to be gained by going and passing to your center there. And I'm shocked at that decision. And nevertheless, a 2-0 lead. Hobart does well to capitalize on it. And that really changes the way that first period is going to look now, because I think the Beacons, after that early goal, did a good job of kind of hanging with Hobart. They had some things that, they need to tweak, but it's a whole different story now, down 2. And they got to erase that one quick.
Well, that will do it for our first period coverage. We'll be back shortly to go over the scoring summary and first period statistics as Hobart leads the Beacons by a score of 2-0. We'll be right back here on the Beacons Broadcast Network.
Those very specific seminal moments in Paris, the subway. A man in a tuxedo walked in and a woman in a long gown. And it was stunning. It all hit me. It was like a lightning bolt. There was this world of beauty and style that I wanted to be a part of. That was the beginning of the journey. And that all came through the University of Massachusetts. And that was really a key moment for me. That's one of those moments you never forget.
The University of Massachusetts Boston. It's just minutes from downtown, and the Princeton Review calls it one of the best values in the country. A nationally recognized institution of academic excellence and research, UMass Boston offers more than 150 undergraduate and graduate programs, 16 Division III sports, and more than 100 student organizations. To learn more about the opportunities waiting for you at UMass Boston, visit in person or online. UMass Boston, a research university with a teaching soul.
Celebrate the soggy shoes and the slow starts. Celebrate the lessons learned along the way. These are the wins. Not the shiny, nail-biting kind. These are the last a lifetime kind.
Something I discovered in myself is that if I have a goal, then I can accomplish it.
It's a well-rounded experience.
At a Division III school, you primarily a student athlete, so the school is really shaped around you developing yourself as a complete individual.
It helps a lot that you have a family with your team that can guide you.
I just wanted to get good grades and to do well. But it also made me realize that I have a lot of career goals.
You're there to get a full college experience, not only participate in your sport, but participate in things outside of that, and it's all about growing as a person.
My coaches have helped me with figuring out who I really am. Their lives are dedicated for us to succeed.
Being a part of the different activities and organizations that I've been a part of, I'm actually able to see myself where I'm like, hey, I actually can make a change. I'm one person that can make a difference.
Division III has helped me to develop teamwork skills, critical thinking skills, time management skills.
It's not just about basketball, or it's not just about school, it's about developing yourself as a person altogether.
I'm the first undergraduate alumnus to lead this university. I'm very proud of that. I was literally able to transform my life because of the University of Massachusetts, and I want that for every single student that walks through the door.
College has given me the flexibility to pursue my passions and my interests, and I've recreated my identity for myself aside from just being an athlete.
My greatest personal discovery has been that I am capable of doing things that I didn't know I was capable of doing.
To be able to study what I wanted to and continue to play the sport I love, all of those things came together very nicely in one package in Division III.
I did receive a non-athletic scholarship upon entering school.
I got the presidential scholarship, which was huge for me.
I think there's more opportunities for academic scholarships in Division III.
I did receive academic scholarships. Just being involved on campus, being a leader, all those things combined kind of get me recognized. It's a great experience for me.
cheer for the stumbles, the he shoulda had that's, and the tears that linger. For in those moments, greatness lies. There, you will find the provoked, the determined, the unified. It's in those moments that champions are born.
The University of Massachusetts Boston, with its scenic oceanfront campus, easily accessible to downtown Boston, is recognized as a model of excellence for urban public universities. 16 NCAA Division III sports are part of the more than 100 student organizations that create an engaging campus life in America's biggest and best college town. UMass Boston, Boston's urban public research university for the 21st century.
Division III allows you to give yourself to other things.
Having that free time allows me to pursue the things that I want to pursue.
Division III athletics affords students the opportunity to, engage in the other interests in their campus and in their lives outside of that sport.
It allows you to just be able to do everything you want to do. I wouldn't change it for the world.
I'm a Division III student athlete, and I know how powerful words can be. The term gay doesn't mean stupid, lame, or less than.
So I pledge to speak up if I hear the term gay used in a derogatory way or any other homophobic terms.
If you can play in Division III.
I'm a Division III student athlete, and my teammates unconditionally accepted me as part of their family. So now I pledge to do the same for others. If you can play in Division III.
What separates UMass Boston from other schools is the fact that a large percentage of students commute. For me, it takes 2 hours each day to go to and from school, but every second has been worth it because the students that come here are serious about learning, they value their education, and understand where it'll take them in the future. This is what UMass Boston means to me.
Moving from Turkey, it was a rough journey for me because you don't really speak the language that well.
And welcome back here inside Edward T. Berry Ice Rink. Andrew Bluestein here with you, going over the first period scoring summary. First goal of the game was scored by Luke Aquaro, his 7th of the season. That leads the team. And then it was John Alexander with just 1.4 seconds left in the first period to make it 2-0. Just not a disastrous situation for the Beacons. They played a solid first period and then give up that goal right before the end. As now let's look at some first period statistics. As shot department, Hobart has the edge, 16-10 in shots. Murray was solid in that first period, had a lot of big saves, 14 of them, and the face-off dot pretty even. Both teams with 13 face-offs, victories out of the 26. And power plays, Beacons were 0 for 1, Hobart was 0 for 1, each team with 2 penalties. As that is our first period stat line. Now let's take a look around the New England Hockey Conference. Right now, Babson leads Castleton at the end of the first period, 1-0. Southern Maine and Skidmore at the end of one, no score. And Elmira and Johnson and Wales knotted up at 1 at the end of the first. And once again, we'll step aside here briefly on the Beacons Broadcast Network, and we'll be right back for second period coverage.
UMass Boston women's basketball at home Tuesday night, taking on Colby Sawyer College. The Beacons looking to move to 2-0 on the young season. And early on, it would be all sunny green. Sabela Jensen with the miss from the corner. Green cleans up the boards, lays it home. Beacons ahead by 3 early on in this one. And then Green, yet again, a little while later, gets this one on the inbound from Jensen. Jumper from the LEC logo. Puts the Beacons ahead by 6, but some shooting woes in the first quarter would find the Beacons behind by 3, and they would turn that around real quickly as Meg Dixon with the jumper right there. And then Sonny Green from beyond the arc bangs this one home, nothing but net. Beacons ahead 17-15. And then a back and forth quarter would ensue. Sonny Green from the corner now from Dixon in the middle. Knocks that one down. The Beacons ahead by 3. And then trailing 22-20, the Beacons go on a 7-0 run to finish off the second quarter. And it culminates in Carrie Ann Farina's buzzer beater 3 from beyond half court. And the Beacons swing momentum in their favor going into the locker room. And coming out of the locker room, the momentum would continue as the Beacons make it a 10-0 run to start the third quarter. And in fact, between the second and third quarter would go on a total of 17 straight points before Colby Sawyer would hit a basket, as you say. Paige Olivier with the miss right there. Sabela Jensen cleans up the board, lays it up. And the Beacons continue to expand that lead as the Colby Sawyer Chargers forced to call timeout. But the Beacons would just continue from there as it's Meg Dixon from beyond the arc. Nails that one. The Beacons now up double digits. And then Sonny Green capping it off, continuing her hot night. This one from the right side. And one opportunity as she's fouled on the three-point attempt. Green finished the game with her first double-double in her career. 15 points, 10 rebounds. In the fourth quarter, the Chargers would threaten. Marissa Holt with that three-pointer would cut the Beacon lead to just 10. But then a 12-0 run from the Beacons would help secure the win as Sabela Jensen with the steal right there lays it home. And the Beacons re-up their lead to 13. But they were not done yet. They would go up by as many as 22 points in this one as Olivier from beyond the arc nails that 3. The Beacons now stretch that lead to 15 and force the Chargers to call a timeout with just over 4 minutes left. But Olivier again, this one from the right side, working in her defender, gets it in, tough layup, falls. The Beacons lead continues to stretch out. Carrie Ann Farina, explosive from the left side, lays it up and in. And now the Beacons up by 20 points. That would put a dagger in it. And then Sabela Jensen caps it all off with a nice pass from Sierra Brigham to lay it up and in. The Beacons go up by 22 points and end up winning this one 59-41 over the Chargers. The Beacons now will head on the road to the Hunter College Invitational.
Celebrate the soggy shoes and the slow starts. Celebrate the lessons learned along the way. These are the wins. Not the shiny, nail-biting kind. These are the last a lifetime kind.
Something I discovered in myself is that if I have a goal, I can accomplish it.
It's a well-rounded experience.
At a Division III school, you primarily a student athlete, so the school is really shaped around you developing yourself as a complete individual.
It helps a lot that you have a family with your team that can guide you.
I just wanted to get good grades and to do well. But it also made me realize that I have a lot of career goals.
You're there to get a full college experience, not only participate in your sport, but participate in things outside of that. And it's all about growing as a person.
My coaches have helped me with figuring out who I really am. Their lives are dedicated for us to succeed.
And welcome back here inside Edward T. Berry Ice Rink at the start of second period coverage as the Beacons head back onto the ice. Still waiting for Hobart to take the ice, but Hobart has a 2-0 lead. Mizey said you want to forget about that play at the end of the second period, move on, be positive from here on out. But in all seriousness, what do the Beacons have to do here to get some momentum going and move on from that mistake?
Yeah, I really liked the majority of that period other than the last 2-3 seconds. I thought they really did well. They were physical. Some of these hits that they're throwing on Hobart are heavy. Really, some of the strongest physical play I've seen all year from UMass. I really like that. And I thought defensively, they've done a good job in limiting the grade A opportunities. Sure, Hobart got their shots on goal, 16 in the period, but a lot of those were relatively routine for Murray, a guy 6'5", and he had to come away with some big ones as well. But I like the overall structure of the period. The thing that I thought they really did well offensively was getting that puck deep. You saw a couple times there they had some scrambles in front of the net that were very, very close to going in. Those were the positives. Now the downside is you're instead of 1-0, it's 2-0. So you really got to get the first one. I think this is a UMass team that needs to keep scores close to remain competitive. I think if they can get this next one, they're right back in this hockey game. But I also think getting down 3 could be a challenge for this team. So we'll see what the second period brings.
It'll be Artem Buzavera and Mike Manzo on the face-off to start the second period here. Beacons going right to left across your screen, and we're underway for second period action. Hobart controls the draw. That one's dumped in by Iasenza. Tyson to collect. Throws it around the far side. Krapinski tried to play it. Centering pass, and that one deflected by Murray. Puck was momentarily loose in front. Hobart stays with it. Swift sends that around the kick blade. That one takes a funky bounce in front and somehow stays out, as I think Murray got his glove on it.
They certainly did, twice actually.
So Beacons dodge a bullet there right out of the gate here in the second, as the puck being battled for on the near side. Iasenza came out with it, but the puck back to the neutral zone. Tyson jumps on it, goes back to his defenseman Swift. Swift, D to Austin Moorer. Moorer goes cross ice to Iasenza. Iasenza tried to play it through the middle, but that goes right to Ryan Rowland. Now Krapinski with it. Plays it through the middle. Concannon backhands one towards goal, and a nice save by Beaver as the Beacons look to stay on the attack. Bogan's shot goes towards the net, blocked into the corner. Guggens back to Bogan at the point. Bogan throws one through. Saved by Beaver. Rebound Concannon with it. Concannon cycles it to Guggens. Guggens, as the puck bounced off his stick, and it's sent down the ice by Will Crane for an icing here early in the second period.
Solid shift there for UMass. Got to keep that rolling now. Got to keep that momentum rolling there. A few shots, a few opportunities, like what that line did. And now you got to follow up with a line even better than that effort. It'll be the third line, Duncan, Walker, and Banks.
You mentioned Walker out there on the face-off against Fontana. Fontana able to win it. That one's chipped by Moore. Not out, though, as actually it did go out, so Beacons have to tag up. Browning had some trouble with that. Goes behind the net. Keegan chips it off the boards. Banks loves it down as Duncan plays it off the boards, but goes to Patterson. He goes D to Wuth. That one dumped in cross corner. It goes high off the glass. Keegan swoops it in to collect. That one takes a funky bounce off the stitch, and a chance. A nice save by Murray. And the rebound comes to Banks. As the Beacons look to have a 3-on-2, possibly the other way. Banks chips it past Patterson. Patterson finishes hit on Banks. Now back the other way, Daniels tried to play it through the middle. Nice play by Keegan to get in front of that pass. As Duncan will send it in cross corner, and he'll go off for a change. As Patterson now with it, puts it between his legs off the boards to Aquaro. Back center ice is McCoy dumps it in behind the net. Patterson gets bodied there as Hobart looks to break out. That one's chipped. And it'll go all the way down, no icing. Krapinski plays it around the boards. McCoy gets it to Bankowskis with speed, enters the zone. Bankowskis throws one towards goal, and it goes off the stick of Lastman up and out of play with 16:48 to go, second period.
Well, another big save by Murray there a few minutes ago. That Keegan just trying to clear the puck. And the boards here at Barry Ice Rink, there are stanchions that pop out ever so slightly, and if a puck catches that, the puck is going to take a weird bounce. And you can see there, it looked like it was going to be out of the zone. Instead, it went directly backwards. And Murray had to be on his toes. He made a good shoulder stop there, keep it a 2-0 hockey game.
Yeah, you don't see these stanchions a lot anymore at a lot of rinks. A lot of rinks go with that seamless glass. So definitely a factor in the geometry of the rink here as the Beacons control. Manzo chips it down the half wall into the corner. Manzo stays with it. Tied up with Fassig in the corner. That one chipped, though, back to the neutral zone. Pass to Luzio. Coleman with it. Has Beloff riding him. Nice job, though, by Coleman. Tries to hit Clifton through the middle as thought he might have got his stick on it, but the linesman disagrees, and this will be icing back to the Beacons' end.
I like the look. I do. I think you got to mix those in every now and then to keep Hobart honest in the way that they forecheck there, and didn't miss by much. It looked like I thought it got the heel of Clifton's stick. He didn't object at all, so it must have just missed it. But I like the stretch play. Every now and then, those are okay. You don't want to do it too many times because oftentimes it'll end up like this, and icing down the other side. But every now and then, it is something you want to mix in.
Linesman giving instructions to Kuzaverov and Manzo. Manzo wins the draw.
Well, a nice job real quick there by Manzo to recognize that the other center was cheating quite obviously, and he wasn't going to step into the draw until it evened up.
Coleman turns it off the boards, and Hobart offside, so the faceoff will stay in the neutral zone.
That might not seem like much, but for a freshman center on a first line to basically call out the other player that you've got an advantage on this draw, I'm not stepping in until you even up, that takes a lot. Most freshmen will just step in there and take the draw. Not the case with Manzo.
Good hockey IQ, as that one's chipped up the boards and deflects into the Beacons bench, and this one will be in the Hobart end, so an offensive zone faceoff here for the Beacons. So second line out there, Guggens, Carabelli, and Kincannon. Zavera able to win that face-off as Hobart tries to go back the other way. Nice job by Kincannon. Able to work his way in. Guggens collects the loose puck, but loses it. Now back the other way. Here comes Tyson, but the puck too far ahead of him as Keegan tried to line him up, and he just missed him. And Keegan's been doing that all night. Had a big hit early in the first period.
Well, Tyson saw some of the other hits he's been laying on people. I think he read that he had the next ticket lined up for Keegan and saw him jump out of the way there.
Keegan now with it. Lays it up the boards to Carabelli. Kincannon takes the hit but makes a play and chips it out. And UMass will make a full change here, or at least a forward change, as Hobart tries to break out the other way. Daniels gives it away. Walker, as Banks able to clear the zone, so no offside, but puck goes right back to the Statesman. Funky bounce. Walker throws it towards goal, and a nice save there by Beaver coming off his line. And this one deflects all the way as Murray way out of his net. Plays it to the far side, and the only guy there was Will Crane for the Statesman, as this one goes back to Beaver. He'll leave it off as Statesman look to break out. Here comes Alexander. Has the second goal for the Statesman. Stays with it, tries to center it. Nobody there, gets whacked back to the point. Swift tries to throw in towards the goal, gets blocked out towards the face-off dot. Goes D to D. Another shot on goal. Nice save by Murray. Puck came out loose as Murray's without his goal stick. So the Beacons would be wise to just ship it out here. And another nice collision there in the neutral zone. McCoy tries to dump it in, and they're going to say Bankowskis was offside. McCoy tried to dump it in initially, fanned on the first chance, and then the second opportunity kind of threw off the timing there.
Yeah, this is where UMass kind of gets in trouble, right? You're not seeing the possession we saw in the first period. The passing seems to be off again. They're not on the same page. And we've seen this kind of become a habit here for this team. They look like, in some facets, a team that's right there with, right in the hockey game. And then here in this period so far, still early, but just not connecting on passes, not possessing, running around a little bit, playing a lot of D. That's really where they get into trouble.
Nice play by Beloff. Hit Fassig through the middle, but gets disrupted. That one's sent in on Beaver. He leaves it off for Patterson. Gives it away though. Friedman now swoops in. Able to stay with it behind the net. Gets it over to Manzo. Manzo stays with it. Gets bodied there by Lassman. That one chipped out. A big hit there by Coleman as he sits down Hartman. So the Beacons maintaining their physical style of play here in the second period as they look to transition the other way with speed. Coleman joining the rush. The defenseman brings it in. Gets rid into the boards, but Manzo swoops in to get it. He gets canceled out by Beloff, and there's going to be a penalty behind the play. And I believe Ignat Beloff will head off to the box, and we're going to get a Beacons power play.
Huge opportunity for this team. And just what they needed. You can see coming back, starting to have a little bit of momentum of their own here. And this power play is something they need to capitalize on. This puts them right back in the hockey game. The goal here for me, the 3 shots on goal. It's got to be the number or more. But we saw oftentimes on this power play, they have a tough time generating shots. They do a lot of time trying to just break into the zone. So this face-off is uber critical.
So it'll be Manzo with Guggens, Carabelli up front, Coleman and Friedman at the points. As Hobart able to win the draw. But Manzo able to get there as Friedman plays it into the corner. Lassman chips it up the boards. Iasenza gets stapled there as puck's tied up. And to the blue line, not out. Nice play by Friedman. Gets it to Coleman in the middle. Coleman walks, shoots. That one goes just wide on the blocker's side. Friedman collects it. Dancing in the corner. Gets it out to the point. Coleman with it. Coleman looks to goal. Down low. Manzo back out top to Coleman. Back over to Friedman. Friedman back to Coleman. Coleman back to Friedman. They pay pass. Friedman to the goal. A shot gets deflected up and out of play. But the Beacons establishing some looks here and good positioning on the power play with 1:14 left to go on the opportunity.
Hobart's going to be aggressive on anything that isn't near the blue line. So anytime you see the puck that's on the wall or anything literally other than the blue line, they're going to attack the puck carrier. I like what the Beacons are doing. They're using that blue line to their advantage, bringing the wings out high so you have 3 on the blue line and then attack with speed knowing that Hobart won't touch you out there.
So the same unit out there. This time it'll be Guggens on the face-off. He's able to win it. Carabelli to Coleman. Coleman walks, curls back, stays out high now, gives it to Guggens on the near side, down low. Manzo back across to Friedman, over to Coleman. Coleman to Guggens down low, cross ice to Friedman and took his eye off the puck, it looked like, back to center. 50 seconds left on the power play opportunity for UMass. And that one got tied up in the linesman's skate, so lucky bounce there for the Statesman as Coleman has to go back in his own end to regroup. Manzo back to Coleman as Hobart will get a change here as Coleman leaves it for Friedman. Friedman back to Coleman. And now a chance the other way. Breakaway opportunity. And alone it's not saved by Murray. Another chance. And Murray gets the rebound too on Shell.
That turnover is inexcusable. Inexcusable on the power play. Your goalie bails you out. That's a big stop by Murray. If that one goes in, you're going to feel everything that UMass has been building just dissolve. And a big stop, not once but twice by your goaltender there. Still 17 seconds on this power play. Still have an opportunity, but you needed to stop there and you got one. Murray's looked good.
He has indeed. Arguably keeping the Beacons in this game. Hobart has had a lot of opportunities. Now 20 shots on goal. 5 seconds to go on the power play. Down low to Walker. Walker had Bogan going towards the goal, but the centering pass got deflected, and that'll do it for the power play as Beloff steps off the ice, goes to the bench. Now a chance the other way. Shell, puck bounced off his stick. Bogan ties him up in the corner. Walker tried to come out with it, but stayed in the corner. Is now the Beacons look to work it out, tied up on the half wall. Heavy collision there. Tyson Tried to throw in towards the goal, went off Walker. Back the other way, Duncan leaves it for Walker. Walker tries to chip it in. Second chance, able to get it into the zone, and we're going to have another penalty here, I believe, against Hobart, and it's going to be a cross-check against Zach Tyson. So another golden opportunity here for the Beacons to cut this lead in half. 2 straight power plays, and you got to think these penalty killers are tired for the Statesmen.
Without a doubt, this is huge, and they just had gotten off the ice. It hadn't been, 2 minutes since they had to just kill off a power play where the Beacons were pressuring, and they were coming close on a few opportunities there. So another chance here for UMass to try and get that 0 off the scoreboard.
Shot off the draw by Manzo, goes just wide on the glove side. So it's the same unit out there as before. Friedman, Coleman at the points with Manzo, Guggens, and Carabelli up front. Statesman controlled it momentarily, but it comes back to Coleman. He looks to head up ice. Goes across to Friedman, but Guggens able to collect. He can stay with it. Comes to Friedman. Friedman down low. Manzo to Guggens in the corner. Back to Manzo. Manzo cross ice. Carabelli a shot, or rather Friedman put it just wide. Manzo looking in front for Carabelli. Puck's loose. Comes out to Friedman. Able to get it to Coleman. Coleman dances to the far side. Loses the puck, and Patterson sends it as it takes a funky bounce. Iasenza, chance for a break here, shorthanded, goes in, and we might get a penalty shot here as Murray got his stick on it. And what's the call? Nope, they're going to say it's a slash, as I don't think he had the angle.
It was close. I agree with you. I thought there was a chance that was going to be a penalty shot. It's a good penalty by Manzo. Unfortunate bounce. You do what you can to limit the scoring opportunity there. He takes the slash. It affected the shot. I have no problem with that penalty. In fact, I kind of like the fact that he was there. That was a breakaway. If Manzo's not there, that's a breakaway again on your goaltender shorthanded.
And another great save by Liam Murray.
He's looked strong. I mean, he's really seizing the opportunity here. He's doing everything he can to keep his team in this hockey game. These are grade A opportunities here, and he continues to come up with them.
So we'll play 4-on-4 for a minute and 1 second, and then it'll be a power play for the Statesmen, barring any other extracurricular activities. Statesmen control it in the zone. Ruth leaves it for Fasick. Fasick through center ice. Again, into the zone. Nice job there by Bankowskis. That one's dumped in. Goes to the far side. Beloff trips it down low for Fasick. Keegan chips it up the wall, but it's kept in. Down low. Now out to the point. A shot. That one gets blocked by Duncan, and that'll go up and out of play as we'll take a look at the replay here on the breakaway opportunity by Iasenza.
Yeah, and a heavy slash by Manzo, but you can see he puts it in a spot where he knows the release point is, so it limits what that forward is able to do on the shot. It's exactly, if you're going to take a penalty, make sure you execute on limiting that scoring chance, and Manzo did just that.
So we have some disagreements between the officials here and Cooper Swift. Swift is supposed to remain on the ice, but he's saying that he has an equipment issue, looks like with his face mask, with his cage there, and the official disagreeing as he's jawing there with head coach Mark Taylor, who doesn't seem to be too happy.
It's something with his helmet, and that's pretty good. The coach and the ref going at it pretty good there. Something with his chin strap, not quite sure, but we're back to play.
Now loose puck in front. That one goes through the crease. Nobody there for the Statesmen. 12 seconds to go on the 4-on-4 as Krapinski tries to bat that puck towards the other way, but here comes Moore into the zone. Moore a shot, and Murray reached up in the air and lost his balance as that puck goes back to the defensive zone. Now 50 seconds here of power play time for the Statesmen as that one chipped in, and I think it's going to be...
It's an icing.
And that's what it appears to be.
Yeah, it's always tough when you go from 4-on-4 immediately to a power play. I think Hobart thought they had the red line there and didn't quite get it. Fortunate for UMass.
So an offensive zone face-off opportunity, shorthanded here for the Beacons. Bankowskis and Aquaro on the face-off to the right of Damon Beaver. Aquaro able to win the draw. Glassman moves it up for Patterson. Patterson tries to chip it in, and
penalty.
As Browning got tripped up, so we're going to play 4-on-4 perhaps, unless something else happens, but
this can be a hold.
Indeed we will.
Or a hook.
As I think looked like he might have got tripped up behind the play.
Yeah, Quara's going to go on the hook, and that's big, right? Because that eliminates the power play now for Hobart. They weren't really getting much off of it. Nevertheless, like you said, 4-on-4 here, 7:34 left in this period. Really a tilting point one way or the other, right? You've got a UMass team that's had a solid period. They've looked good, and now should have a minimized power play here. Again, the offense just continues to be the struggle for this team. 1 goal now through almost 5 periods here. They've got to find a way to get on the scoreboard.
Haven't seen too much 5-on-5 hockey in the second period. A lot of penalties as Moore blows a tire, and they're going to get him.
Yep.
I think Moore is going to go for closing his hand on the puck
Without
there.
a doubt. It's a good call. It's a good call. And I understand he's going to argue that he was just, Moyer's going to sit.
Yeah, he's got to be careful there.
Yeah, he's hot. He's hot. He better be careful.
So we're going to play some 4-on-3 here. Second sequence of 4-on-3 tonight, Mizey. You don't see that too often.
Very rare.
Let alone once, but we get it twice here tonight.
It's like having Green pop up on the roulette wheel twice in one sitting. It's very rare, but you're not going to get a better chance here for UMass. You've got, realistically, you're not going to have many more chances, I don't think, in this hockey game. You got to find a way to get one here.
So plenty of space out there for UMass to work with. Bogan able to keep it in. Gets it to Googans, who walks in, shoots. That one looked like it hit the hand of Mikaluan as he was shaking there, but it'll stay on the ice. So now it'll be a 5-on-3 for the Beacons for 1:20. Golden opportunity. Manzo flipped it over to Friedman. Puck able to stay in the zone. Friedman to Coleman out top. Over to Googans. Cross ice to Friedman, off the boards. Friedman leaves it for Coleman. Goes over to Googans. Googans walks in, shoots. That one goes wide on the glove side. Puck rides the dasher, and it's chipped down low. Manzo battling there. And that one flipped out to center by Iasenza. Now under 50 seconds to go on the 5-on-3 opportunity.
Well, tough on Googans there. He got his first shot blocked, and then the second one missed poorly and ended up out of the zone. So he's got to tighten things up here.
Googans with it to Coleman. Coleman walks over to Friedman. Friedman shoots. That one's blocked away by Beaver up into the netting. 30 seconds to go on the 5-on-3. 6:03 to go in the period.
Yeah, that puck jumped on Friedman. I don't think he got all of it. Still plenty of time here, and you're possessing well. It looks like Hobart is going to give you everything outside of the slot. So whatever you want to drop, you virtually have everything on the table in terms of what you want to do as a unit.
So now Clifton out there with Concannon, Duncan, and Bogan and Keegan at the points. Keegan down low. Duncan, or rather Clifton, to the middle, a shot. That gets blocked. Clearing attempt, kept in by Bogan at the line. Bogan over to Keegan. Back to Bogan in the middle. Back over to Keegan. Keegan towards the net, a shot, and a glove save by Beaver. He saw that all the way through. Not enough bodies in front there.
Yeah, good save. Good save on the glove side, but I agree with you. I think you've got to try to take his eyes away. I mean, that's from pretty decent distance. And this faceoff is critical now because a clear is going to take you at least to a 5-on-4, maybe 5-on-5 if you can't break out cleanly. That's a big keep.
Nice play by Keegan, as you mentioned there. Mizey is able to keep it in again. That'll be 5-on-4. Another chance the other way. Here comes Aquaro. Already has one tonight. Aquaro is in alone, and that might be a penalty shot, and it will be.
Absolutely. That's terrible. No communication from the bench. You've got to let and that's inexcusable for UMass. You've got the player coming out of the box there, Aquaro, and just no alert to Keegan that he's behind him. Had he known he can get that puck deep, and he had to do what he had to do in order to try and stop that breakaway. Unfortunately, he did too much. This is going to be absolutely going to be a penalty shot.
So Luke Aquaro out of Yardley, Pennsylvania will take the penalty shot. The sophomore already has a goal here tonight. Has 7 on the season. Leads the team. Looking for his 8th here. Going against Liam Murray. A save here would be huge for the Beacons.
Huge moment in the game. Probably didn't need to be said. Most people probably recognize that.
Well,
I just can't. Again, the bench, the UMass bench is right there. All you got to do is yell, Keegan, box, box, box. Let him know the guy's coming. He's on your tail. Keegan probably dumps that in. None of that play happens.
Aquaro waiting for the official signal. Aquaro starts slowly, picks up the puck at center, weaves to the outside, cuts towards the middle, and he scores on the forehand. Beats Murray on the glove side, and Aquaro grabs his 2nd of the game, and it's 3-0 Statesman.
Yeah, beat him on the glove. And that's just a quick release, a shooter. The goaltender, Liam, I think, had his angle there. Murray, I can't really do much more. That's just a quick release from a natural goal scorer, 3-0 Hobart.
And probably the last guy you want on this Hobart team taking the penalty shot. We mentioned that's now 8 goals on the season for the sophomore Aquaro.
Goal per game.
And that's very hard to do at this level of hockey. As we approach the 5:20 mark of this 2nd period, as Krupinski tied up in the corner. Coming out with it is Hartman. Now out to the point. Swift banks it off the boards in behind the net. Browning gets tied up. Krupinski now with it. Tries to play it through the middle. McCoy chips it out to the neutral zone, but right there is Moorer. He'll chip it back in. McCoy stays with it as he absorbed the hit there from Daniels. Now Rowland chips it up the boards. Pankowskis leaves it off for Atkins. Pankowskis flips that one off the glass, and the Beacons will get a full change. Through the neutral zone, Hartman brings it in. On the far side, tries to center it, looking for Moorer, the defenseman who we've seen join the rush here a good amount of times. And another penalty coming here, and this time it's going to be the Beacons. Guilty as going off is Beaver for the extra attacker, so not what the Beacons wanted after giving up the penalty shot goal. As the Statesmen are going to go to the power play as they look to break out. Fassig leaves it off for Swift. Now Moorer. That one banks off the kick blade behind the net. Fassig on the far side. Gets it to Swift. Swift tried to play it down low. Got deflected by Walker, and not sure why. I was going to say the puck was played with a high stick because the Beacons didn't have possession. So
that was close. That was close. I don't know about that high stick call, but either way, Hobart on the power play here, and if they get this to 4, UMass is in a lot of trouble. Already in a lot of trouble. Still 0 on the board. This team has trouble, and you get that 5-on-3. You're not only do you not capitalize on it, but you end up giving up a penalty shot that ends up making it 3-0. Worst case.
Uzavera won the draw, but it goes back out down to the Statesman zone. Patterson will swoop in behind the net. He's going to wait. Now leaves it off for Wooth. Wooth hits Tyson on the near side as he enters the zone. Deacon's trying to get it out, but it goes over to Patterson on the far side. He gets it to Buzavera, who chips it in down the boards. Deacon's had a chance to clear, but nice play by Patterson to keep it in. And nice stick by Carabelli disrupting that pass as it goes back to the neutral zone, and Ruth will take it behind his own net. Hits Tyson on the wing. Tyson tries to get around Bogan as he enters the zone. Now it's battled for on the half wall. Approaching a minute to go on the Statesman power play. Under 3 minutes to go in the third period as the whistle blown as the puck was tied up on the half wall. You never see that anymore. Usually the refs urge the players to play the puck, but a quick whistle, and that'll benefit the Statesmen as they get an offensive zone faceoff.
No, you're exactly right. They usually have these players now try to dig it out, and they usually do.
Yeah.
That was rather quick.
Statesman's control. Moore goes D to Swift. So a second unit out there for the Statesmen. Moore. Down low to Alexander. Try to play it through the middle. Nice play by Walker as he chips it out back to the neutral zone. Swift forced to go back to his own end, and he'll set up shop behind his net. 40 seconds to go on the Hobart power play. Alexander tries to cut into the zone, gets around Rowland, stays with it. Now to Moore at the point. Moore. Back to Alexander. Back to Moore out top. Alexander now. As it looks like a bit of an umbrella here for Hobart. Now they change up the look. Down low, Alexander centering pass. As Aquaro looking for the hat trick. Now another chance. And a great save by Murray. Got it with the glove. Huge there for the Beacons netminder.
Well, he's been the player of the game for this UMass team. I mean, he continues to just battle and fight, coming up with these saves. That's a pass that comes from behind. He's got to look behind him and then quickly not only find the puck, but get something in front of it. Got the glove there, no rebound. A heck of a save there for Liam Murray.
So 8 seconds to go on the power play. 1:45 in the second period. As Manzo tries to win the draw. Puck comes out loose. Chance. Another shot. That one goes just wide. Not sure if Murray got a slight piece of it. But that'll do it for the Hobart power play. So Beacons get a huge penalty kill here. They just have to avoid the vulnerable minute. As a nice play there by Clifton. Back the other way. Friedman stops. Waits. Tried to get it across to Bogan. But a nice play there on the back check by Daniels. And a huge hit there by Coleman as he sits down Crane just outside the blue line. As now Hobart tries to chip it in, but Bogan's right there. Now Clifton backhands it in. He'll chip and chase. Puts a body into Mulwukuan. Glassman with it, tries to play it out, glove down by Manzo. He gets it over to Krapinski. Krapinski sends it in. Final minute here of the second period. Back the other way. Here comes Buzavera. Trying to play it across to Daniels. Another big collision there is Kincannon taking his man Crane to the boards. As we approach final 20 seconds here of the second period. Stretch pass in the neutral zone. Bounces off Crane's stick. Krapinski backhands it into the corner. Goes around the net. Played back the other way. Rowland with it. Now Guggens fires one in as Beaver decides to just toss it behind the net, and that will do it for the second period.
Well, more of the same for this UMass team. Close but no cigar, as they say. They continue, I think for the majority of that period, we're right there with Hobart, and they just seemed like they were on the brink of maybe getting this thing within one, and then sure enough, the 5-on-3 doesn't go in their favor. The penalty shot ends up in the back of the net, down 3-0 now after 2 periods, and the offense just continues to struggle. This team really is having a tough time finding scoring. We've seen now 5 periods of play and 1 goal to speak for themselves. So That's got to change. If this team is going to be competitive, not just in this game, but in this season, they've got to find ways to generate more offense here. And I think you're going to see in this third period, the coaching staff is going to, like they did against Elmira, probably jumble things a little bit, see if they can find some lines that are going to spark a little bit of offense that they can rely upon. And the game is still in play. If you can get one early, maybe two, still plenty of hockey left to play, but I think the offense just continues to be the weakness of this team.
Yeah, both these teams coming off the second half of a back-to-back. Both these teams played last night. And you said it, Mizey, it's not like the Beacons have been immensely outplayed in this game. They've had their opportunities. It's just that Hobart's buried theirs and the Beacons haven't. And that's where we stand here. At the end of two, it's the Hobart College Statesmen leading the UMass Boston Beacons by a score of 3-0. We'll be back for the second period scoring summary and statistics here on the Beacons Broadcast Network.
Comprehensive learning is being able to adapt to experiences and apply the things that I learned. Being an athlete and juggling academics helped me grow as a person, and things that I've learned, I was able to apply it in another field, putting them into everyday life. Developing comprehensive learning helped me prioritize certain things to make sure I get to where I want to be.
Paris changed my life, and I got there through UMass. Those very specific seminal moments in Paris. The subway. A man in a tuxedo walked in, and a woman in a long gown. And it was stunning. It all hit me. It was like a lightning bolt. There was this world of beauty and style that I wanted to be a part of. That was the beginning of the journey. And that all came through the University of Massachusetts. And that was really a key moment for me. That's one of those moments you never forget.
The University of Massachusetts Boston. It's just minutes from downtown, and the Princeton Review calls it one of the best values in the country. A nationally recognized institution of academic excellence and research, UMass Boston offers more than 150 undergraduate and graduate programs, 16 Division III sports, and more than 100 student organizations. To learn more about the opportunities waiting for you at UMass Boston, visit in person or online. UMass Boston, a research university with a teaching soul.
Celebrate the soggy shoes and the slow starts. Celebrate the lessons learned along the way. These are the wins. Not the shiny nail-biting kind. These are the last a lifetime kind.
Something I discovered in myself is that if I have a goal, I can accomplish it.
It's a well-rounded experience.
At a Division III school, you primarily a student athlete, so the school is really shaped around you developing yourself as a complete individual.
It helps a lot that you have a family with your team that can guide you.
I just wanted to get good grades and to do well. But it also made me realize that I have a lot of career goals.
You're there to get a full college experience, not only participate in your sport, but participate in things outside of that. And it's all about growing as a person.
My coaches have helped me with figuring out who I really am. Their lives are dedicated for us to succeed.
Being a part of the different activities and organizations that I've been a part of, I'm actually able to see myself where I'm like, hey, I actually can make a change. I'm one person that can make a difference.
Division III has helped me to develop teamwork skills, critical thinking skills, time management skills.
It's not just about basketball, or it's not just about school, it's about developing yourself as a person altogether.
I'm the first undergraduate alumnus to lead this university. I'm very proud of that. I was literally able to transform my life because of the University of Massachusetts, and I want that for every single student that walks through the door.
College has given me the flexibility to pursue my passions and my interests, and I've recreated my identity for myself aside from just being an athlete.
My greatest personal discovery has been that I am capable of doing things that I didn't know I was capable of doing.
To be able to study what I wanted to and continue to play the sport I love, all of those things came together very nicely in one package in Division III.
I did receive a non-athletic scholarship upon entering school.
I got the presidential scholarship, which was huge for me.
I think there's more opportunities for academic scholarships in Division III.
I did receive academic scholarships. Just being involved on campus, being a leader, all those things combined kind of get me recognized. It's a great experience for me.
Cheer for the stumbles. The he shoulda had that's. And the tears that linger. For in those moments, greatness lies. There, you will find the provoked, the determined, the unified. It's in those moments that champions are born.
The University of Massachusetts.
Back here at Edward T. Berry Ice Rink, Andrew Bluestein here with you going over the second period statistics. As you see the shots, Hobart has the edge, 24-18, 21 saves for Liam Murray so far in this one. He's made some big ones, keeping his team in this game even though they are down 3 goals. If not for him, it could be more than that, as Beaver has 18 saves. Face-offs pretty close to even, as Hobart has the edge with 25 of the 48, UMass with 23. UMass, a bunch of opportunities on the power play, including a 4-on-3 that turned into a 5-on-3 in that period, but could not take advantage of that, as Hobart 0 for 5 on the power play as well. And you see the 5 penalties for the Beacons and the 6 penalties for the Statesmen. As we look at our second period scoring summary. So, first 2 goals of the game in the first period. Luca Quaro grabbing his 7th, and then John Alexander grabs his 4th. That was with just 1.2 seconds left in the first period, and then the only goal coming in that second was on a penalty shot. Luca Quaro once again gets his 8th of the season. He's now averaging a goal per game, which is very impressive. And that's where we stand now, is it's 3-0 in favor of the Statesmen. And now let's look around the league for the NEC scoreboard. Excuse me, the NEHC, New England Hockey Conference. Babson currently leading Castleton at the end of 2-1. Southern Maine and Skidmore, 3-1 Skidmore leading the Huskies there at the end of 2. Elmira 4-2 over Johnson and Wales at the end of 2. So that's what we have going around the New England Hockey Conference here today. And with that, we'll step aside here on the Beacons Broadcast Network. We'll be right back for third period action.
Massachusetts Boston, with its scenic oceanfront campus, easily accessible to downtown Boston, is recognized as a model of excellence for urban public universities. 16 NCAA Division III sports are part of the more than 100 student organizations that create an engaging campus life in America's biggest and best college town, UMass Boston. Boston's urban public research university for the 21st century.
Division III allows you to give yourself to other things.
Having that free time allows me to pursue the things that I want to pursue.
Division III athletics affords students the opportunity to, engage in the other interests in their campus and in their lives outside of that sport.
It allows you to just be able to do everything you want to do. I wouldn't change it for the world.
I'm a Division III student athlete, and I know how powerful words can be. The term gay doesn't mean stupid, lame, or less than.
So I pledge to speak up if I hear the term gay used in a derogatory way or any other homophobic terms.
If you can play in Division III.
I'm a Division III student athlete, and my teammates unconditionally accepted me as part of their family. So now I pledge to do the same for others. If you can play in Division III.
What separates UMass Boston from other schools is the fact that a large percentage of students commute. For me, it takes 2 hours each day to go to and from school, but every second has been worth it because the students that come here are serious about learning, they value their education, and understand where it'll take them in the future. This is what UMass Boston means to me.
Moving from Turkey, it was a rough journey for me because when you don't really speak the language that well and when you don't really fit in the crowd, it's very easy to disappear. But I decided not to give up, and UMass helped me.
UMass Boston was my first choice because when I came to the campus, I saw that there was a lot of diversity, there's a lot of people. Here there's a lot of international students, so it's really cool to meet people from different countries, different parts of the world. I'm Julia Murphy, I'm from Canton, Massachusetts.
I'm Olivia Murphy, I'm from Canton, Massachusetts.
We're sisters.
We're sisters.
I play volleyball and she plays basketball. Here they have a freshman success community. So each major has their own community that you can join as a freshman, and you take classes with them, you do study groups with them. So it was really helpful getting to know people in your major right away.
So in health exercise sciences, we have an internship at the end, so it's so much better to have like an advisor helping you out, like telling you which classes to choose.
People at UMass Boston, they're here because they know they can have an impact, not just on research, but on people, on their students.
This is just the starting point. It only has potential to grow, and it has a big potential to grow up.
You're really having a direct impact on people's lives, and you can see that now, and you can see that years from now.
So I think it's becoming like the place that people want to go.
What UMass Boston is able to offer to its young people certainly stands out to that mission that was set right out in the beginning. It's something UMass Boston should be and can be very proud about.
And welcome back here on the Beacons Broadcast Network. Live from Edward T. Berry Ice Rink on the campus of UMass Boston. Andrew Bluestein, Matt Meisenbacher here with you as we approach third period action. Well, Meisen, we talked about at the end of the second period, it's not like the Beacons have been immensely outplayed here this afternoon. It's just They haven't been able to bury their opportunities. Hobart has. What do they have to keep going, or what do they have to do here in this third period? And you mentioned you might see some juggling of the lines and whatnot in this period for the Beacons.
Yeah, this reminds me a lot of what we saw last night against Elmira, right? Where the play itself was relatively close. The opposition just finding ways to finish their opportunities, and the Beacons haven't been able to do that here this weekend. For me, I think this is a golden opportunity for any forward who can find a way to score to earn minutes for next weekend, right? Because right now the coaching staff is looking for any opportunity, anything they can generate. If you can score, fantastic. But even shots, something that they can build off of, because offensively right now, things are just extremely limited.
And we're underway for third period action. Hobart controls that one, dumped in by Buzavera across corner. Nice hit by Browning there on the far side. The puck chipped in the half wall. Friedman tried to play out. It goes off the post. Murray doesn't know where it is. It was loose behind him. And the Beacons able to get it out of harm's way. The goalie's worst nightmare there as Clifton throws one towards the goal. Beaver had some trouble with it. Now back the other way. Tyson has numbers. Gets it in the middle. Eyes sends it. Tried to get it over to Swift. The miscommunication there as Guggens will dump it as that one goes into the Hobart bench. So the face-off stay in the neutral zone. But that was interesting to say the least there.
Just a rocket by Maurer. And it's funny because usually off the post, that puck isn't going to sit. It's going to go somewhere. Not the case here. It's just kind of laid in the blue paint. Felt like for a while. It was probably only no more than maybe second and a half. But nobody knew where it was for a minute. And then sure enough, it was cleared away. That one had Murray beat.
Guggen's able to win that draw at center. As puck gets chipped out to the neutral zone. Rolling back to Coleman. Coleman tried to hit Guggens through the middle and wasn't able to get his stick on it, and it'll be an icing. So the face-off back in the Beacons' defensive end.
Well, a tale of two teams right now. You can see Hobart, majority of them standing, and UMass Boston, majority of them sitting. And body language can tell you a lot about the way these teams feel right now. Hobart, more of the same for the way this season has gone. Up 3 here in the third period on the road, trying to close out a 4-point weekend. And UMass just trying to find something positive to build off of here, down 3 at home.
Crane gets to the point. Patterson goes D to Wuth. Wuth off the boards. Coleman tries to bank it out. Sent back in by Patterson. Crane battling with Coleman behind the net. Coleman goes down to the ice as Carabelli leaves it off for Guggens with speed. Working against Swift. Guggens to the net. Great move. Gets hooked down. No call.
Wow.
Puck back the other way. Concannon now with it, but a great opportunity there for Guggens. Had plenty of speed. Working on Matthew Wuth and just wasn't able to finish it. It looked like he might have got bothered there.
Yeah. Great move. It came in with speed. It lowered the shoulder. Was able to cut to the net. And I agree with you. No call. I guess a great defensive play there by Hobart. But he had the entire net. If Guggens was able to just get anything on that shot, it's in the back of the net and wasn't able to do so.
Yeah, it looked like he also had Beaver beat. Just couldn't quite stay with the puck once he got past the 45 of that crease there. As face off to the right of Beaver. Barrow on the draw, wins it from Duncan. Patterson chips that off the boards. Goes off of Bogan's chest. Now a 2-on-1 chance to Alexander. Shot. And not sure if Murray got his blocker on it, but was there in good position as this one comes out to the point. And that shot gloved down by Murray for a whistle.
Yeah, it didn't miss by much. I agree with you. Not sure if Murray got a piece, but he was there. At 2-on-1, boy, this Hobart team can move the puck. They enter the zone with speed. You're a defenseman, you're in trouble. They're going to find a way to get something. And a few times tonight here we've seen on those rushes, those cross passes getting through. One of them ended up in the first goal of the game. But this Hobart team is very talented.
The stalemate off the draw. Puck goes into the corner. Tied up. Aquaro able to chip it up, but it goes onto the stick of Atkins. He'll chip it in. Pankowskis as Glassman beats him there. Shot from the point. Pankowskis tried to whack the loose puck, but couldn't get any wood on it as that one's sent back across the ice. Shell hits Aquaro. Now Alexander enters. That one's knocked off his stick by Krapinski. Goes to the far side. McCoy tries to chip it out, and we have a penalty behind the play as Pankowskis goes to the ice, and I believe Alexander is going to go off here for a penalty as the official with his arm in the air.
Yeah, I didn't see it, Andrew. It was behind the play. Referee sure did. And I think you're right. UMass is going to have a power play. So here you go. Here's your chance. You've got 17 minutes left in this hockey game. You haven't been able to score so far. You've had a few opportunities on these power plays, just haven't been able to finish. I think they've got to find a way to get something greasy. I really do. I just don't think this team can afford to try and get something pretty on a one-timer. This has got to be very simple. I would recommend shots from the point. Try to get 2, maybe 3 forwards in and around the front of that crease and just bang it home, maybe get a tip, deflection, something of that nature.
Now the officials were discussing something here. Now we obviously didn't see it was behind the play. Perhaps I was curious maybe of a double minor or a 5-minute major, but that's not the case.
That is a 5.
Oh, it is?
Wow.
I was going to say a long discussion, so huge opportunity here for the Beacons. 5-minute power play. They can score at will. And
a great pickup by you, Andrew. Again, we didn't see it. We assumed a minor, and it must have been something egregious. That's a 5-minute major, so you're right. UMass is going to have that penalty will not come off the board.
Hugans enters, fires one. That goes off the glove of Beaver and goes into the netting. So, I mean, this is just an opportunity on a silver platter here for the Beacons. 5-minute major to start this third period. All you really need to do is get one here. You'd like to get at least 2. But you get a goal here, you're right back in the hockey game. Plenty of time left.
Without a doubt. And I really do. I think simplifying things is the best thing for this team right now.
Friedman sends it in around. Looking for Carabelli in the corner. Tries to play it up the boards, but got disrupted by Iasenza. Hugans now with it. Back in the neutral zone, brings it in. Puck bounced off his stick. Manzo with it. Tries to shoot. Puck slipped off his stick as goes in the corner. Carabelli plays it around for Hugans. Hugans trying to get it to Coleman at the point, but might have gotten tipped, and it went back towards the middle of the blue line, and the Beacons will have to regroup. Coleman will start things up back the other way with speed out of his own end. Pass center ice, takes it into the zone, tries to leave it off for Hugans. Penalty killer out there with no stick, but Fasig able to get it back as Cannon now behind the net, as that one's muscled out there by Moorer all the way down. So not a good start here for this power play by the Beacons.
No, the little mistakes, Guggens, a simple D pass, he misses it, it goes down the ice, they got to break in. Then they get it in the zone, lose a puck battle, sends down the ice. Here, a failed breakout, a missed pass, back down the ice. And his team is just not functioning on any level right now offensively.
Egan to Clifton, big collision there as he was stepped into by Tyson and once again sent back behind the net. Approaching now 3 minutes left on the major. That one's chipped in by Keegan. That one's sent around. Nice play there at the point to keep it in, but doesn't matter. It's sent right back down the river. Murray comes out to play it. Both teams partial change, and Keegan. Cross ice to Bogan. Bogan leaves it for Guggens. Back to Bogan. Bogan gets it in. Able to one-hand it down the boards, but that one's sent right back out. Now a chance the other way with speed is Shell. He wins the puck. Not what the Beacons want here. Bogan leaves it off for Keegan. 2:20 to go on the major. And the Beacons have yet to set up shop in the offensive zone. Great job by the Hobart penalty killers here. And another giveaway, and that one's sent right back in. This seems like a
This is embarrassing.
A lack of urgency here.
This is embarrassing. This is something you practice every single day, your power play breakout. I mean, you've got to be better than this. They can't even get the first pass, Andrew. This is not good.
And once again, Beacon's having all sorts of trouble exiting their own zone, transitioning through the neutral zone. As now Guggens with speed gets it over to Carabelli. Puck explodes off his stick, gives it away. Friedman able to keep it in, no, offside. And Meisey, I was going to ask you, we didn't have time before that major started, but if you were head coach Peter Belisle, would you have called a timeout right before that 5-minute major to kind of, hey, guys, this is an opportunity here?
It's a good thought. Yeah, I think if you had something where you felt as though, you saw something maybe on the ice that you could take advantage of. For me, this is just, you've got to get back to freshman year 101 offense. And the breakout right now is indicative of where this team is at. A timeout is going to help that. Eventually, it's on the players. These are talented. These guys have played at a high level in junior, and you can see here, this is just with an extra man on the ice. Hobart is still dominating in terms of the way they're defending and even in the possession time. That's just inexcusable.
Just an absolute clinic by the Statesmen here on this PK. As now Friedman with speed enters, fires, blocker save, or excuse me, that was Clifton.
That's what I would do.
Try
to get something here.
A minute now. Keegan over to Bogan. Bogan tees one up, looking for a tip in front, and it goes wide. Sent behind the net. Duncan, that one's chipped out. Look out. Chance the other way for Fassig. Working against Keegan. Goes to the net. Goes into Murray without any help, and a whistle. Maybe could have been goalie interference there. It didn't look like he had much help going into Murray there, but the official's arms stay down.
Close. I would say the only thing that saved him there was the fact they're already shorthanded. I agree with you. I think that contact was initiated by the forward, but good to see Murray okay. You've seen a lot of goaltenders with a player coming in with a full head of speed, and a goaltender already, the butterfly position is not a natural body position, and any type of force to the legs, hip, shoulder can cause some trouble. Good to see Murray's okay.
The final 30 seconds of this major penalty that was awarded or given to Jonah Alexander, who's currently standing in the box, as Manzo able to win that face-off in his own end, and they're going to say there's a hand pass, but it shouldn't be because it's in the defensive zone. So
yeah, you're right. I don't know.
The official kind of fell asleep on that one.
Yeah, I don't really know why that was blown dead.
We'll do it again.
We might have been the only ones that caught that. None of the coaches said anything either.
So Fassig will win the draw, and another giveaway is now down to 20 seconds. As back to collect is Glassman. He'll play it around the boards and into his own bench. Look out. And faceoff will stay in the Beacon zone or the Hobart zone rather, with 15 seconds to go on the power play. And I mean, you have no choice. You have to score within this 15 seconds.
Oh, without a doubt. And again, like another break there, right? So that's a clear that ends up in the Hobart bench. Now you get an in-zone draw. So free zone entry, which realistically you haven't had any zone entries on this power play other than a handful.
Banks behind the net. Browning throws one, as that one was going wide, but Beaver decides to glove it for a whistle. 8 seconds now to go on the major to Alexander.
And I'm fine with that. Run that again. That's just a simple play there, a shot from the point. Again, the only thing missing is Beaver saw that all the way. He's going to make those saves. You got to find somebody to get his eyes, get in front of him, try to tip that puck.
Bankowskis wins it in the slot. Adkins' shot was blocked. Bankowskis throws one towards the goal. That goes wide. That'll do it. Puck's loose in front. Bankowskis sent it over the net. Had a great opportunity on the doorstep as Beaver was down plenty in net to shoot at, and Bankowskis just flubbed it.
He did. He got under it. Had the whole net.
Now back the other way. Aquaro looking for the hat trick. Waits, hold, shoot, save by Murray. Got it with the left pad. Now another centering pass, Aquaro, as that one bounced over the stick of Crane. Back the other way. Atkins able to backhand it in. He'll head off for a change. Banks now on the forecheck. That one played to Crane. He'll try to chip it out. Now Crane sends it in. Coleman leaves it off for Clifton. Clifton with speed through center ice. Tries to get it to Friedman on the wing, too far ahead of him. Now being battled for on the near side half wall. Puck goes in the corner. Now taking it behind the net. And back in the middle. Now in the near side, Daniels. Tees one in and it hits the kick plate. Now comes in the middle. Shot on goal, patted away there by Murray as Friedman tries to dance with it, able to get it into the neutral zone. Played back up the ice though by Daniels, and that one's sent in as Deacons will make a partial change. Swift fires that one in off the glass behind the net. Carabelli with it on the far side, trying to shovel it out. Guggen's able to get it out, and it's going to be an offside with 10:35 to go in this third period.
Yeah, the stick of Carabelli got caught in the skates of Fontana there, right in between, right in the toque. So tough. Neither player really knows what to do in those situations. If you watch a lot of hockey, you probably see it. It happens every now and then. You've got that stick is wedged in there, and really without a whistle or cooperation by both parties, it's nearly impossible to dig out. And then that led to the offside.
So the face-off in the neutral zone in front of the UMass bench. Guggen's able to win that draw, goes all the way into the corner of the UMass end. A giveaway behind the net. Keegan as centering pass there by Isenza. Nobody there. Swift at the point. Goes D to Muth. Or Wuth rather. Sends it behind the net. Now it's being battled for in the corner. Comes out to Swift at the point. A shot goes just wide. Out of body in front. Carabelli tries to one-hand it ahead, but back the other way comes Hobart. Swift dumps it in. Bogan to collect. Chips it up the boards. Carabelli has it. Chance the other way. Has Guggens. Leaves it off for Guggens. Guggens comes off the half wall. Throws one towards the goal as I think Beaver got his shoulder on it. And another penalty coming up here. It's going to be a hold, I believe, against Hobart. And I think it is going to be Kuzavera.
Neither team knew who the penalty was on. They both looked at the ref with their hands like, wait, me? And it'll be Concannon who actually gets the call.
Yeah, I thought it was Buzavera because he, like you said, he put the,
right.
What did I do? Hands up in the air.
Yeah, ref saw something.
But chance for the Statesmen to perhaps put this one away with a goal here on the power play. As Paul start off the face-off.
Yeah, at this stage, looking like Hobart well in control here. And you're earning your minutes. You're showing the coach why you deserve to be in the lineup for the next game. That has to be the mentality here. He's still time in this hockey game. You're shorthanded here, but it just hasn't gone a lot. A lot of things haven't gone their way here in the third period, and they haven't done enough to overcome those disadvantages.
Moore with it at the face-off dot, gets it to Swift out at the point. Back down low to Moore. Moore stays with it, cycles it down low to Shell. Puck now behind the net is stepping into that one is Ryan Rowland as it goes all the way down the ice. Beaver out to play it, leads it off for Swift. Back through the middle, nobody there. Coleman able to tee one off the boards there. Bankowskis was the first one there. He'll just send it slowly around the kick blade. Moore now leaving it off for Melicuin. That one's dumped in. Coleman, first one there, tries to chop it ahead, but Alexander got in front of it. Now able to get it out to the point. Glassman back over as the shot goes wide from Melicuin. Now behind the net, Alexander to Lastman. His shot goes just wide on the blocker's side. Not sure if Murray got a piece of that as the puck goes back behind the net as they can't get it out. Hogan's clear attempt doesn't work. Now another shot from the point and a save by Murray, and Tristan Pasick with an extra whack there gives the, hey.
It wasn't me. It wasn't me.
Even though it was very clear that you just did it.
Very much was him. Yeah, the extra whack and then the skate away. It's fine. Part of the game.
I mean, in his defense, he doesn't know if the puck was still loose. The whistle had not gone yet.
Oh, yeah. No, absolutely. You can't fault the forward there. Just usually, you know, if you're going to do it, you're going to get a couple shots after.
Hobart controls once again. Goes around the boards. Daniels with it. Daniels waits. Now out to Lastman at the point. Over to Malacuan. Back to Lastman. A shot from the point. Loose in the crease as Hobart couldn't find it. Malacuan, as that expires the power play opportunity. Malacuan goes cross ice. Shot off the side of the net, and Murray able to find the rebound and freeze it for a whistle, which allows the Beacons to change up here. 7:38 to go now in the third period, but they do get the penalty kill.
I think the goaltending and the defense has been fine. This team does not have any issues there. I think Murray looks strong. Defensively, this team has done enough. The difference in this hockey game is the fact that UMass continues to just be dismal on offense, and there's only so long you can defend before a bounce is going to end up going against you, and you saw that a couple of times here tonight. That's the difference in this hockey game. The 3-0 lead really isn't because Hobart is essentially dominating in any way, shape, or form. It's just more they've capitalized 3 times on the chances they've been able to generate, and UMass hasn't been able to do that.
Yeah, it's not like the shots are very uneven either. Hobart does have a 6-shot advantage, leading 28-22, but both teams have had plenty of scoring chances. It's just the matter of, you said, Mizey, the execution.
The ability to finish. And right now, no one is stepping up to be that finisher. I mean, we've seen there's plenty. If you look at the roster on the Beacons, compared to what these players have done in junior, and for the upperclassmen, some of what they've done historically here at UMass, there shouldn't be any this bad of a shortage of offense. And it's a little bit perplexing as to what's happened to this team that over the last few years has had a propensity to score 3, 4, sometimes 5 or 6 times a game. And you're just not seeing this here this year with this unit.
Yeah, just 15 goals for so far in the first 7 games for the Beacons. And you want that number to be a little bit higher. I mean, they're fine in the goals against department, just 22 goals against. You mentioned the defense and goaltending has been, you can't really complain about it. Look out, a chance the other way. But as you said, just looking at the numbers offensively, and you said that this team is capable of putting up better numbers than that.
Yeah, they've proven it, and I think this team has to have a sit down. Sometimes a break is what you need. I mean, they've got a few games here left over the course of the next few weeks to maybe try and right the ship here. Plenty of time left in the season, but sometimes with a break and in these types of situations, you're overthinking it, and you kind of put the bag away for a little bit. You leave the equipment where it is, and just when you come back, you feel rejuvenated, you feel fresh. But right now, this team just doesn't have anything going offensively, and the coaching staff jumbling the lines last night. They jumbled them again here tonight, trying to find a combination that's working. There's been a few sparks. It's not like it's completely dormant, but the inconsistency is what troubles me. It just comes and goes too easily. And again, here tonight, you haven't been able to find one through the majority of this hockey game.
As the puck goes out of play, and they're not out of it by any means. They're 2-3 in the conference, so it's not like, it's not like they're 0-5 in conference play. So, I mean, this season, a lot of season left, and I'm sure we'll see improvements. As a chance there, goes on the net, saved by Beaver, and he'll cover that loose puck.
Even right there, Andrew. So that's a shot, a bad rebound by Beaver right in the slot. That's a goalie's nightmare there. You've got 2 Beacon forwards in the slot. Really didn't get that good of an opportunity there. It kind of fluttered back in. those are in Beacon's teams in the past, you'll have a forward that would find a way to bury that or force the goaltender to come up with a really strong save.
That one's sent into the corner by Rowland. Behind the net, Bankowskis jawing there. He gets sat down by Lastman to the ice. McCoy sends it to the far side. Nobody there, but Bankowskis turns on the Jets. And it doesn't matter, back the other way. Kuzavera sends that one in on goal, gloved by Murray with 5:40 to go in the third.
And you can build off your goaltender and your D here. So that's another positive thing you can take away is you've got the number one team in the country here in your building. Realistically, for those that have watched, it's been fairly even. It's a 3-0 hockey game, but you've got to feel pretty strong about a team that is, again, one of the best, undefeated. You've really gone toe-to-toe with them, other than the fact that their offense has really dominated your offense, your forwards.
Nice play there by Kincannon, able to draw a penalty. Great effort there by Dakota Kincannon. The senior out of Warwick, New York, blocks the shot and then headmans the puck the other way and in the process draws a penalty. So Lastman will take a seat and the Beacons will have a power play here with 5:32 to go.
Here you go, another chance. Show me something. I mean, that's got to be the message from the coaching staff right now. Guys, show me something. There's only so many things they can do. They can't get on the ice with you. So let's see.
So it'll be Manzo, Guggens, Carabelli with Friedman and Coleman at the point. So Manzo and Aquaro on the draw. Manzo wins it. Friedman to Coleman. One-timer shot. That goes just wide. Carabelli may have got a stick on it in front of the net. Guggens now with it on the far side. Enters the zone. Cross ice to Friedman. Friedman tees one up. That one got blocked by Patterson, and he's feeling that one. Back the other way, though. Aquaro working on Coleman. Gets around him. And he turns it over to Friedman. Friedman wheels it back behind the net to Coleman. Coleman will headman it out. Brings it through the neutral zone to center ice, gets it to Friedman. Friedman able to chip it in. First man there, though, was Shane Schell, and that one's sent down the river. Murray will come out to play it. Manzo behind his own net. Gives it to Guggens on the wing. Guggens tried to get it back in the middle to Manzo, and it was disrupted there once again by Shane Schell, who's done a good job on the penalty kill tonight. Friedman now with speed through center ice. Working down the far side, cuts to the middle, throws a shot on goal, got deflected, never got through, and that one's sent past Manzo all the way down the ice. 45 seconds to go on the power play. Beacons will change it up as Bogan tries to bring it up the boards. Keegan loses an edge. That one's sent once again off of a stanchion. Funky bounce goes to Bogan all the way on the far side. Bogan up the boards to Keegan. Keegan back to Bogan. Bogan over to Keegan. Keegan will send it in around. Puck rides the dasher. Moore knocked it down, tied up on the end boards. Moore comes out with it and surprised Bogan at the point, and this one will come back into the Beacons' end. And that will do it for the power play. So once again, the Beacons unable to cash in on which I believe is their 6th power play opportunity. Don't quote me on that, of the game.
Well, not only that, there's
and the
just
5-minute major as well.
Yeah, there's just nothing happening, right? I mean, the breakout itself isn't even. Yeah, you're exactly right. That was their 6th power play. The breakout isn't even happening, right? Like you're not even getting zone entries here. So forget about being 0 for 6. You've got to find a way to even just get into the zone and set up your system before you can start talking about ways to generate some offense.
Kauskas won the draw, but it took a funky bounce back to center as Ruth chips it in. Krapinski plays it around to McCoy. That one goes right in, though, on the giveaway as Murray forced to take a whistle. with 3:10 to go.
That's redirected. Another good save. I think you've got some questions here. This was Best's job, and for the beginning of the season, he was the starter. I think the way Murray has played tonight, he's now in the conversation for who's going to get the next game. Maybe a possible split next weekend. Might go back to Murray. I would definitely think this coaching staff is going to be pleased with the way he's played here tonight, and I think he's earning himself another start somewhere down the line.
William Murray, the grad student out of Fort Lauderdale, Florida. You know, chance in front there. We mentioned top of the broadcast coming into this game, he had only played in one period this season. As you mentioned, Sam Best had seen all the action prior to that. But you certainly have to consider, and it's nothing against Sam Best, he's played well this season too, but you have to consider giving Murray some more playing time because he's certainly earned it with this performance here today. As Beloff cuts to the net, and another nice save by Murray. And puck goes to the far corner, tied up behind the net. Rowland jumps on it.
I agree with you, Andrew. I think the way Murray has played and some of the saves he's made in each period have been of the elite category. And even that one right there, that's right on his doorstep. Was able to fight that one off. I mean, I think what you're seeing from him is a goaltender that's fighting, regardless of what the scoreboard says.
Here's Walker with a chance. He shoots, and that one got blocked. Banks had a chance to maybe pot home that loose puck, but he couldn't find it. Now 2 minutes on the dot to go here in the third period. Shot from the point there by Delazio as the puck finds its way behind the net. Patterson chips it up the boards. Took a funky bounce on the clearing attempt there by Crane. And that one sent out by Daniels. As back to get it is Deluzio. That one chipped high in the air. Browning chips that one in on Beaver. Is quick up there as Hobart enters the zone. Khalil Fontana gets tied up. Now the puck chipped into the corner. Iasenza. Browning tried to play it up to the far side, and having some trouble with it there was Kincannon. Sent right back in by Uzavera. Shot from the point as Murray tracks that one nicely and gloves it. No rebound. Under a minute here to go in the third period, and the face-off in the Beacon zone.
You can feel it, just the way this team is getting on and off the ice, the body language we talked a little bit about before. Just no confidence in this team right now. And they know, they're well aware of what's happening and where they're at in this season. They've got to find a way to reset things.
So Manzo and Buzavara on the face-off. Manzo able to win it. Corey Clifton tried to play it out, couldn't. And you can see Hobart still on the attack, even when the game's put away inside the final minute. As I'm sure head coach Mark Taylor will appreciate that. Play till the final buzzer as Iasenza gets it back to his defenseman. And that's dumped in behind the net. Bogan plays it over to Keegan. Keegan to Manzo. Manzo got disrupted there by Aquaro. Bogan plays it to Friedman all by himself in the neutral zone. As he throws one towards the goal, Beaver knocked it down and just paddles it to the corner. And Alexander will tie it up against the boards, and that will do it. Here from Edward T. Berry Ice Rink, it'll be a 3-0 final as we have some extra jawing after the buzzer. As it was Grady Friedman, and you can see the frustration from the Beacons.
Yeah, they should be. You just got shut out at home, and you scored one goal all weekend. It was on the power play. That's not good enough. And this team has a lot to think about. You've got a few more games, I think 3 games here before they hit the winter break. Lot to dissect. I think this team has to find a way to just generate more offense. I think that's going to limit what they're able to do this season. Defensively, I don't see that many flaws in goaltending. I think is probably the strong suit of this team. I think Best or Murray, both goaltenders have shown they're capable of keeping this team in it and possibly stealing a game. But to score one goal in a weekend is alerting, I think, to anybody that's watched this team, and the coaching staff is going to have to make some decisions in terms of what their game plan and their strategy is going to be moving forward.
As you mentioned, 3 games before the winter break, at Colby College, at Bowdoin College, and then back home against Anna Maria College. So the Beacons will try to turn things around before they head to the winter break. And as we see the team shaking hands, but the Beacons shut out at home here this afternoon. It's Hobart College 3, the UMass Boston Beacons nothing. We'll be right back to recap the third period with scoring summary and statistics on the Beacons Broadcast Network.
What separates UMass Boston from other schools is the fact that a large percentage of students commute. For me, it takes 2 hours each day to go to and from school, but every second has been worth it because the students that come here are serious about learning, they value their education, and understand where it'll take them in the future. This is what UMass Boston means to me.
Moving from Turkey, it was a rough journey for me because when you don't really speak the language that well and when you don't really fit in the crowd, it's very easy to disappear. But I decided not to give up, and UMass helped me.
UMass Boston was my first choice because when I came to the campus, I saw that there was a lot of diversity, there's a lot of people. Here there's a lot of international students, so it's really cool to meet people from different countries, different parts of the world. I'm Julia Murphy, I'm from Canton, Massachusetts.
I'm Olivia Murphy, I'm from Canton, Massachusetts.
We're sisters.
We're sisters.
I play volleyball and she plays basketball. Here they have a freshman success community. So each major has their own community that you can join as a freshman, and you take classes with them, you do study groups with them. So it was really helpful getting to know people in your major right away.
So in health exercise sciences, we have an internship at the end, so it's so much better to have like an advisor helping you out, like telling you which classes to choose.
People at UMass Boston, they're here because they know they can have an impact, not just on research, but on people, on their students.
This is just the starting point. It only has potential to grow, and it has a big potential to grow up.
You're really having a direct impact on people's lives, and you can see that now, and you can see that years from now.
So I think it's becoming like that place that people want to go.
What UMass Boston is able to offer to its young people certainly stands up to that mission that was set right out in the beginning. It's something UMass Boston should be and can be very proud about.
College has given me the flexibility to pursue my passions and my interests, and I've recreated my identity for myself aside from just being an athlete.
My greatest personal discovery has been that I am capable of doing things that I didn't know I was capable of doing.
To be able to study what I wanted to and continue to play the sport I love, all of those things came together very nicely in one package in Division III.
I did receive a non-athletic scholarship upon entering school.
I got the presidential scholarship, which was huge for me.
I think there's more opportunities for academic scholarships in Division III.
I did receive academic scholarships. Just being involved on campus, being a leader, all those things combined kind of get me recognized. It's a great experience for me.
Cheer for the stumbles, the he shoulda had that's, and the tears that linger. For in those moments, greatness lies. There, you will find the provoked, the determined, the unified. It's in those moments that champions are born.
The University of Massachusetts Boston, with its scenic oceanfront campus, easily accessible to downtown Boston, is recognized as a model of excellence for urban public universities. 16 NCAA Division III sports are part of the more than 100 student organizations that create an engaging campus life in America's biggest and best college town, UMass Boston. Boston's urban public research university for the 21st century.
Division III allows you to give yourself to other things.
Having that free time allows me to pursue the things that I want to pursue.
Division III athletics affords students the opportunity to, engage in the other.
As welcome back inside Edward T. Berry Ice Rink to wrap things up. Just going over the third period statistics here. Final shots 34-26 favoring Hobart. As we mentioned, Murray was outstanding for the Beacons tonight. 31 saves and 26 for Beaver. Power play, that's what hurt the Beacons mostly tonight. 0 for 7, just couldn't figure out how to execute. They had good looks, they had chances, it was just the execution factor for them. They just couldn't seem to break through. They had a 5-minute major in the third period and just was not very good. Had a lot of trouble breaking out of their own end. And you look at Hobart, they were 0 for 4 on the power play. So both teams struggling on the power play here tonight. And then you see the penalties. 6 for 12 minutes for the Beacons and then 8 for 19 for the Statesmen. And now, before we wrap things up, let's look at the road ahead for the Beacons. As 11:26, they'll be at Colby College, 4 p.m. That's a non-conference matchup. And then the next day, they'll be at Bowdoin on the 27th of November at Bowdoin College, 1 p.m. matchup. Then they're back home against Anna Maria on the 2nd of December, 7 p.m. And then they will head to the winter break until December 29th. And they will come back. But that will wrap up our coverage. Just want to thank our productions staff here tonight. As the Beacons now fall to 2-6 on the season, 2-4 in the conference, 1-5 at home. As just want to thank our producer Michael Vesey, directors Maria Spilios, I'm Andrew Bluestein, camera operators Gina Albano, Marino Jimenez, Jackson Snyder, Tam Landry on graphics, and Alina Albano on replay. So thank you everybody for your help tonight. Once again, I'm Andrew Bluestein for Matt Meisenbacher. We wish you a good night. The final score, the Hobart College Statesman 3, the UMass Boston